Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Ooh, fancy.
Welcome back, Blair. Good to see you.
Hey, I survived the cancellation. I'm back, baby.
Yes, welcome. Welcome back to the Leftist Mafia. Welcome everybody watching on every stream possible.
Yeah, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, or excuse me, I'm just streaming on YouTube. You didn't hear that, Twitch. Myself. Oh yeah.
So I guess, to intro all of us, I am David of the Rational National. There is Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report. There is Illuminati, amazing videos on YouTube. There is Lance of the Serfs, who's everywhere. And there is Olay, who's going to be having a show coming up, her own show. But also, of course, a writer, a public defender, a great person. Welcome, everybody, once again.
Hello.
Hi. So, it's hard to know where to begin now.
There's so much going on this week.
How do we have so much in the chat? I mean, the show just started. My God. Like, do y'all see this? The chat is going wild.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
Okay, I'm just going to say this is the only thing I'm going to say. I haven't even spoken yet. It is 8:00. Someone said at 8:15 the show started 8:30. I was just now talking at 8:15. There goes a hater. Okay, over under. How long does Alimi mention she's the only black person on the show? I'm going with under 5 minutes from the start. Nigga, you said it. You said it 15 minutes before the show started. That's you. You see how you see the projection is powerful? I don't remember. I start every show high as a kite. I don't never just come on the show and be like, hey y'all, it's me, the resident Negro. I've never done that.
To be honest, I don't even remember a time where you've said that.
I'm telling you.
But the audience has pointed that out a lot. I've seen that a lot in chats. I got an email one time, like directly related to that, and I was like, "What is going on here? That's silly."
I have no idea what's going on here at all right now. What's going on?
It's okay. You didn't miss anything.
We're just beginning this. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen the intro. I've seen it.
Like it?
Been there, done that. I've lived it.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
a fascinating thing that I'm going to when I am not fried and feeling scholarly. I'm gonna write something real, powerful, analyzing it on Illuminati one day because it's really something how they hyper focus on your girl. Like it's really,
It is.
Just be breathing over here, fried. I'm just gonna smoke my little vape and mind my business, y'all. Also, I just want to say our animation. I hope y'all take a second to really peep how dope and beautiful our new animation is. We love it. Coltreve on Instagram made that for us. KOL.
Oh, the art? Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta pull it up somehow.
It's really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I need y'all to really appreciate it. They really did that. And I want y'all to know in the image, everybody else, perfect from nobody had any complaints. I definitely had edits made that made your girl's outfit. I was like, wait a second, make that look better. If it were me, I'd be in a black leather. If it were me, I loved it though. I love the image.
I think it's fun. I love it, and I'm grateful.
It is so cute. I love how you're perfect. Yours is literally because you're already a perfect animation, Blair.
I mean, it happens. No, but the artist did an absolutely amazing job. So huge shout out.
Agreed.
I always
can't
love. I
find
mean,
it, so
oh,
I have it saved, but there's no way to upload it to the screen. So, but it is the thumbnail of this video. So if you just go to my main page on YouTube, you will see it.
yes.
But we also shared it last week, at least the earlier version of it.
Yeah, it's in the intro too for people who are watching live. When we're talking about art, can I give a shout out real quick?
Well, I want to give a shout out to you. That was awesome. I love how you layered all those like those clips in the beginning, like that. Up yours, more.
It was great.
Oh, this is just right. It was perfect.
I spent so much time on that, just finding the clips, and once I had them, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fucking golden. So yeah, I had a lot of fun putting that together. Had a great template to work with because Lance, you killed it with that intro. But I wanted to give a shout out to Lord Magnus. So everyone comments on my outros on my videos and the beats that I get. So Lord Magnus produces some of them, and he's also a great artist himself. He's on Spotify, Apple Music. So go check out Lord Magnus. He's in the chat right now, in my YouTube chat, and yeah, lots of great love for art. That's a phenomenal way to start the show, I think, because we're gonna get into some doomer topics probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and Ole, this is something from my chat. So Roller Dragon is says he's one of the mods on Lance's channel and says, can you DM Ole? Sorry, I'm saying this publicly though. That her mic needs to be logo facing her squarely. Sorry.
Wait, how many different places are we shooting this today?
Is my mic better now?
Roller Dragon, is it good now? Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
Sorry, I didn't even notice. Apologies. I would have said something earlier.
Thank you, y'all. I wouldn't have known.
Who's everyone who's streaming? I know David Dole on his YouTube channel, Surf's on Twitch. Who else is streaming?
I've got 2 streams going.
I'm streaming 2 streams.
Stream going? Oh,
I have a YouTube stream and not a Twitch stream.
Same.
As well as Illuminati.
I do. I have a YouTube channel and not a Twitch.
This is democracy at work right here.
Absolutely.
That's how we do it.
I gotta start streaming
that's
this.
That's why the chat is so extra hyped tonight. Why there's so much extra. Oh yeah.
We got everybody up.
There are people that are new. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're people have been commenting. When is Illuminati coming back?
Okay, here. Let me. I'm not going to go into the details, but essentially, y'all, I was moving and everything hit the fan, and then I didn't have internet for like 3.5 weeks. And you know, normally if I were like to show myself on camera, it would be a little easier to stream. But when you have like a VTuber and stuff, you really can't work off of like, I have like a 5-year-old laptop that I do work on when I'm not streaming or using my main computer. So I was just MIA, unfortunately, and I wasn't going to show up as a black square. So I just kind of had to disappear for a little bit. But I am back and the computer is working. So we're here.
That's great. Shit happens sometimes, folks, and sometimes we just have to take a break from life and our priorities. And we're just happy that Blair's back, because I was telling Blair before we went live that like there's so many comments that are like, the show just doesn't have as much structure without Blair.
Okay, listen though, that's just because I'm boring. I'm here to provide structure, okay? Y'all are the funny ones.
For an hour, it was all spoilers. I got so many angry emails about that. Like, why did you
really?
Yeah, because they were like, people in chat were saying stop spoiling the show, but you wouldn't stop talking. But we wanted to keep watching. I was like, I guess I'm sorry. We should have been spoiler warnings, but anyways.
Yeah, I realized. By the way, I realized last night when I got locked out of my Twitter, I was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, somebody. I'm like to my friend. I'm like, somebody message the Leftist Mafia. I was trying to tell my friend Mark. Realize that none of you have your Twitter DMs open to the public. I was like, God damn it! I was like, we really have conducted an entire show without exchanging any personal contact information.
Yes, we did.
And I really pride in that. I was like, no meetings, just execution. You know what I did? That sounds nice. Let's go do that.
Yeah, we were rolling the dice here because Elon Musk could have basically shut down our show easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no, yeah.
But he failed. Definitely. Now we've connected outside of Twitter. Game over.
Yes.
So what happened this week? Let's start with some real topics.
Oh, wait, before you do that, I just want to tell everybody the document is back. We're organized again.
Yes.
To the Illuminati. So the Word doc should be in the chats now-ish. And then if you have questions or topics you would like us to cover so that we have nothing but pure structure, click on that link, go into the document and fill it out.
Yep. Fill out the Google form questions, y'all, and I'll make sure I try and keep them in order and keep them semi-timely. If you guys send me crazy stuff, I'm not answering it or I'm not letting that go live. Sorry. We're not doing hateful shit in here. But the nice stuff, we're good. I do have a question already that is a timely question. Asking, what do you think could happen as a result of the YouTube CEO resigning today and being replaced by Neil Mohan or Moen?
So listen, I'm of the belief that it's always better to work with the devil you know as opposed to the devil that you don't know. But I'm not even thinking about the CEO of YouTube, because for those of you worried about the future of YouTube, so this next coming week, pay very close attention to the Supreme Court hearings, because there's going to be oral arguments for two cases. Twitter v. Tamena, I believe. I could be butchering that. And Google v. something. Anyways, these two cases are literally going to decide the fate of the internet. And that's not a hyperbole. I have a video dropping tomorrow. So what's in question is Section 230. And the question is, can these internet service providers be allowed to publish anyone without legal ramifications, or can they not? Like, will that still be the status quo? There's a bunch of different outcomes here, and all of them could be bad. And it's very complex, but basically what this means is, in the event the Supreme Court repeals Section 230, YouTube, Google, all of the, or not Google, but YouTube, Twitter, all of these social media giants, they might take swift action to protect themselves. So either hyper moderate everything, which means more censorship, or not do any moderation at all, allow death threats to go on. It depends on how this goes. It can go in a number of different ways, but it could lead to YouTube being crushed, for example, because if Section 230 is repealed or portions of it are gutted, YouTube may have to forego the algorithm, essentially. Like, that's one of the outcomes that could come up as a result of this. So if that happens, then YouTube could be transformed into Dropbox, to where there's no algorithm to promote our content. It's just we have a link when we upload, and you have to find our content. Because if they're open to lawsuits, because Section 230 is repealed, they're not going to promote our content because they could be sued for that. Like, that's the crux of the suit. It's so complicated. I have a 14-minute video dropping tomorrow. Watch it because it's really scary, and that's what everyone should pay attention to. Like, a lot of my following found me during like the net neutrality days. This is like net neutrality on steroids. It's genuinely horrifying, and the internet like a year from now could be very, very different looking.
Are you guys hearing the same thing I'm hearing? YouTube promotes Mike's content? Is anyone else hearing this? Getting a load of this?
Relatively speaking.
Oof.
This may actually help us. Put us all on an even playing field.
I could be persuaded about various different updates maybe to Section 230 that would possibly make it stronger and better, but overall Section 230 is a very good thing for the internet. Yes. Like Mike was saying, it could fundamentally, I don't know exactly if that scenario is something that would actually come to fruition, but it would certainly, the loss of Section 230 would certainly change how media and really any sort of content is put online. And I think we often focus too much on the YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and what these big tech companies are going to do to protect themselves. But the fundamental change with those big tech companies, honestly, is not going to be all that much compared to what it will do to basically your website, any sort of small business tech company, any sort of a small press organization, a freelance journalist, because Section 230 covers all of those people too. Right. You cannot be held liable for what someone comes and if they you're in a Substack and someone comes in the comments of one of your Substack pieces and says something that could get someone into legal trouble, you will not be held responsible for that commenter because of Section 230. Your website will have to worry about these sorts of things if there is no more Section 230. You won't be covered by these sort of things. You will be held legally liable for what even third parties upload to your platform. whatever your platform may be. So I think often we focus too much on, and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, they make tons of money. So I'm sure they'll figure out some way to still get the content flowing. Maybe people like us who probably don't make them too much money wouldn't get our, who knows how they would handle it, but maybe our content would be held up until it's reviewed or something, but they'll find a way to get it out there. It's the other sorts of platforms and even your own personal platforms that you have, a blog, whatever, that's going to be what gets really hit by changes to Section 230.
Yeah, and there's two portions to Section 230 that the liberals and the conservatives are against. Trump was against Section 230 because it gives tech giants and social media websites the ability to regulate content, moderate their own content. Now, the left thinks that they're not going far enough. I should say liberals, not the left. So the other portion of Section 230 is that, as Matt was pointing out, if somebody posts something on their platform, YouTube, for example, can't be sued because of what that person posted, because they're not publishing it themselves. They're just acting as like a neutral platform for everyone else. So both of these provisions are in play here, and nobody really knows what the internet will look like if either one of these or both of them are overturned by the Supreme Court. So that's why it's something to really pay attention to, because we don't know, basically. Like, I was listening to an expert, Dr. Goldman. He was interviewed by Philip DeFranco, and he's an expert on Section 230, and he was explaining that you really don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, but we're dealing with a Supreme Court that is not only far right, but they're tech illiterate, they're geriatric, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so to put the fate of the internet in their hands is horrifying. So
not only just
different a year from now.
Right, not only just the tech illiteracy, the whole fact that conservatives online for the past, I feel like at least 3 or 4 years, due to their complete misunderstanding or purposeful misunderstanding of what Section 230 is, have gone on this campaign to get rid of Section 230, thinking that's the reason why conservative content has been, taken down or moderated on these platforms, which is the complete opposite of the reality of the situation. They're able to post on these platforms and spread whatever vile bullshit they want to spread because of Section 230, because otherwise YouTube, Facebook, and all these companies, it wouldn't just be, we have content policies just so we don't get people yelling at us about misinformation and stuff. No, they would take down this shit because they wouldn't want to legally be held responsible in this case. In fact, it wouldn't even be takedowns. This shit would never get up in the first place without Section 230, because they wouldn't want to be held, any sort of responsibility whatsoever for what this stuff is. It's a complete shit show what's going on here, and it will be a big problem. It will be a big problem. And also, we should add an addendum that Section 230 also doesn't give them free reign to just let whatever go up.
True.
It gives them for material that actually is illegal or people uploading copyrighted material that doesn't belong to them or whatever. It gives these platforms a reasonable amount of time, and I believe Section 230 also uses terminology like that, reasonable, to not give it a specific amount of time. It just says something like a reasonable amount of time to act and take things down so they won't be held legally responsible. This doesn't say that a platform can just decide to host a child abuse material and not be held legally responsible. That's not the case at all. Section 230 just enables them to have a specific amount of time to take material down if it is illegal, for example, and not be held responsible. And if a party decides to take action against someone for something like slander or something like that, they would have to go after that third party that posted on the platform, not the platform itself, because they wouldn't be held legally responsible.
Yeah, so just pay attention, folks, because this is very, very important. And there's a lot of Supreme Court cases that are important. For example, Moore v. Harper, really consequential. But this is one that's kind of flying under the radar, but it's popped back up because they're going to be hearing oral arguments this next week. So keep that on your radar. Just wanted to put that out there. It's
I just got
really, really
a
important.
question as a Canadian to the Americans when it comes to the Supreme Court. Like when you say keep this on your radar, I'm all for making tons of noise about this and obviously making a lot of people aware of what's going on. But ultimately, it's going to be their decision to make regardless, right? Like we're still
Right.
going to have to sit back and just watch this happen, and it's most likely going to be the worst possible outcome, right? Like prepare for
Yeah,
that.
I mean it's not like the FCC. Like when they proposed repealing net neutrality back in 2017, there was this long comment period where the public was able to weigh in. Now that comment was flawed and whatnot, but with the Supreme Court, all we can do is cross our fingers and hope and pray that they don't fuck this up. And odds are they're gonna fuck this up. Like Clarence Thomas has already vocalized a little bit of interest in overturning Section 230. So that's one. But in terms of like what the others are gonna do, we don't know. Clarence Thomas has no principles here. He's just saying that he doesn't like Section 230 because Trump said the same thing. So how they're going to roll, it's anyone's guess. So that's what makes this so horrifying. It's because of the uncertainty. So all you can do is speculate about what the internet will look like. But any change that they make will have a ripple effect across the entire internet.
I do wonder how this would impact countries like ours, like Canada, where this wouldn't necessarily apply on the books, even though YouTube is based in the US. I wonder would they still be able to operate normally within the confines of other countries? As like would the US be sort of like siloed out of social media if like the worst happened? Because I
That's a good
don't
question.
know how all of that would work out.
Yeah, that's part of the
wait,
uncertainty, right?
say that again with the USB.
So say Section 230 is repealed. What happens in Canada? What happens in Europe?
Oh,
Like-
I think the opposite would be the case. I think you would all be now running under. I mean, these companies operate out of the U.S. for the most part. I mean, the big tech companies we're talking about, and so they would probably just put out a overarching new policy regarding this based on whatever the ruling on Section 230 is, just like how the GDPR is a European set of privacy rules, but a lot of companies have instituted those same laws here in the U.S. just because it's easier to just have an overarching group of laws and not just run things by the laws in specific countries. I mean, what happened here is that after GDPR was passed in Europe, California passed their own set of privacy laws based on the success of the GDPR, and then that pushed forward even further for these companies to just have these privacy laws over like a rule basically over all these other states. Like we're basically it's not technically illegal in certain states the way it is in California, but a lot of these companies are operating just like, it's easier, just we have to abide by the California law. It's going to cost more to have these different sets of rules for every little place. So we're just going to create this one policy based on what we have to abide to by this law and just make it across the board.
Yeah. And that's why the net neutrality repeal hasn't been as devastating as a lot of people initially expected. I mean, certainly it's been harmful, but because states like California and New York were able to get their own net neutrality laws, I think that that's part of the reason why it hasn't had this big widespread effect that we feared. Now, the FCC, to go back to net neutrality, they actually tried to preempt states and block them from passing their own net neutrality laws, but that was actually struck down by a court. So they did do that. And now, why create this different setting, as Matt was talking about, just have it be universal across the board and keep fighting. So that's like an ongoing battle, just to be clear. These ISPs are trying to block Gigi Sohn from getting confirmed, who would give Democrats the majority to completely undo the net neutrality repeal. So they're still fighting that, and they still want net neutrality to go the way of the dodo, like entirely for all 50 states. But, with California, New York, Washington, Oregon, other states having net neutrality, that like throws a wrench in their plans. So it's all really, really complicated. And I would say, like, if you follow anyone on this, I would recommend Evan Greer and Carl Bode. They're really great tech writers. Also, somebody named Matt Binder is a great writer at Mashable. Great post on this you could follow.
Thank you.
The anti-Semitism, come on. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we covered all of that. I think it was interesting that we started. What's big that happened this week? And it's like the week that started with the Super Bowl, and we start with this Section 230 news.
I mean, we're focusing on what's important.
Well, Super Bowl. Who gives? I don't even know what happened.
I didn't even know who was playing the Super Bowl.
All I know is Rihanna did the halftime. That's the most important part.
Show.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
No, I thought that's what you meant. I thought you didn't know who did the halftime show, and then how it became a culture war thing because it was like, wait, Rihanna did it, but she was also pregnant, and it's like she's like absolutely killed it, and then a whole bunch of right wingers were like, but she did it while she was pregnant, so that's controversial, I guess.
Are you kidding?
I mean,
I thought
if you want to make it into a non-thing thing, sure, yeah, of course.
I thought once I saw Candace Owens like be okay with Rihanna performing, I thought there was no right-wing argument. I didn't even see the right-wing outrage about Rihanna.
The right was very upset about it. The quartering
What
was
were they upset about?
things. Because apparently at one dance routine, she both touched her crotch and then smelt it afterwards, and that apparently was highly problematic. Yeah, highly disturbing.
That is
kids
literally,
watch it, you know, kids
come on.
Think about the things Rihanna is. That is literally Rihanna. Rihanna was covered from head to toe, bopped around stage, baggy clothes, pregnant. That is the most wholesome you have ever seen.
And the
Rihanna.
other dancers were dressed like marshmallow men. Like they were all covered up. You couldn't see anything. Like there was nothing offensive even possible.
I just love the memes about Rihanna because she was pregnant and dancing, and so somebody posted like, "This was Rihanna's baby in her stomach as she was performing," and it's like, I can't do it justice, but it was so fucking funny. That's actually how I found out that she was the one who performed. I'm like, okay, I've got to see this performance now. I thought she did great. I mean, she's pregnant. She did like a 13-minute performance. She did phenomenal. All the hits. Conservatives are just never going to be happy unless it's like
I just can't get over. I just can't get over David saying who could be, hurt by the big white poofy costumes. Clearly, he's not thinking about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the Michelin Man.
Yeah, I forgot about them, I guess.
It was horrible for them. They must have felt very hurt by that whole thing.
I got to be really honest. If you're offended by a woman dancing, grabbing her crotch, and allegedly smelling it while you're watching basically a commercial for the military-industrial complex, like how much of that game is like, the boys in blue, the boys in green, look at the military, look at the cops, love them all. This is the fucking...
No. I don't believe anybody was angry. I don't even believe that's real. There's no way. It's all performance.
You know who I heard was angry about it on his podcast? Because I read the wrestling news websites, and on Bill Goldberg's podcast. You guys remember Bill Goldberg?
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
Bill Goldberg, he was a huge champion. He's in the WWE sometimes, comes back. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's considered a wrestling legend. He was complaining about Rihanna grabbing her crotch and called it disgusting during the Super Bowl before joining his podcast. This is a guy who works for a company that's the biggest superstar and the guy who married the boss's daughter and is now running the company, Triple H. This is the guy who became most famous for pointing to his crotch and telling people to suck it.
Well, yeah, it's okay when he does it.
Is this guy for real?
Yes.
Is this guy for real?
We must simply ignore these people. They just be looking for attention because all this again, every week I just come here, racism. This ain't nothing but misogynoir. Okay, that's all that is. Because it's the same way they were like, I did see your girl Marjorie. I did see her say, it was otherwise good other than that wokeness. So whoever sung the anthem,
the national anthems. Yeah, the national anthems. Apparently,
what was the controversy over that?
The only country in the world that would let us have national anthems based on race and ethnicity. I was like, what? No one said that there was alternate American national anthems. No, there was never an announcement. There was never a statement.
Marjorie Taylor Greene just needs a reason to be angry. There is no reason except she just needs to be.
They're just racist. All that is you have this black ass woman up here singing this black ass song. Fuck all that. And my people are gonna like for to hear me say fuck all that. That's all it is. That's all it is. They just find new ways to do this performative outrage. But that's all it is, racism. And also what it is poor education systems. You're not familiar with the Black National Anthem. That's on you, Lady Miss. It's been out. You are late to the party because they don't teach Black history in the schools. And that brings us to a greater problem. You listen.
And also, Left Nut in the comments mentions, don't forget Left Nut. Don't forget the Pat Tillman name
Disgusting!
drop.
Unbelievable! Get out of here!
What does Right Nut say?
Left Nut says, don't forget the Pat Tillman name drop, which I missed, but I heard about how they're trying to pretend Pat Tillman was this. I don't know. Anyways, they're trying to. Pat Tillman was from what I'm not hugely informed on Pat Tillman, but was somebody who went to, I believe, the Iraq War and was a player in the NFL. And
yes, and he left the NFL to join the military during the Iraq War. He went over there, became completely disillusioned. Yeah, I mean, he was one of these, but he became completely. But he became completely. This was like after 9/11. He joined the military, left the NFL. He went over there though, and became completely disillusioned by what he was seeing over there, and became this really big anti-war voice later on. Obviously, once this information got out. But he was sharing these anti-war feelings in his journal and to his family and everything. And lo and behold, I forget, in like 2003, I think, he was killed by friendly fire. And the whole situation around this whole thing became really messed up because the military then comes out and lies at first about what happened to him, claiming they were, attacked by, enemy fire. And then it comes out later that he was shot by friendly fire, his own troops. And then there's a lot of information that's still not known about exactly how this went down. I've heard that he was shot numerous times from not so far away. His military gear was burned, like they were trying to cover something up. It's become a very odd situation. And at his funeral, the politicians who showed up, I don't remember who it was. I feel like it might have been John McCain. There was a bunch of people who showed up, though. They tried to turn this into some brave soldier trying to save our freedom. Yeah, patriotic thing. And his brother went up at the funeral and basically called out all this shit, saying, his brother, while he was over there, was speaking out against the war, became disillusioned by it, thought this was all bullshit. He was an atheist, and he thinks all this God bullshit they're saying at his funeral is fucked up because that's not who his brother was. It was an insane thing that happened. What was that?
His image, they're still using his image in these games to sell this idea of like, this is a true patriot who fell at the hands of terrorists and we have to stand up for the American ideal. I was like, there's a lot of other people you could use to send the same message that doesn't have all this like controversy and baggage behind it.
That's why
was anti-war.
But that's clearly why. That's why they choose him, right? Because disrespect. There are a lot of people they could do.
It's also because of his like chiseled. He's like a chiseled chin. Like he looks like a warrior. Like he looks like a guy who'd be like one of them.
Kind of thing. Like he's got like the perfect like military like profile photo. Yeah.
He has like a doll's face. Like it's like a perfect face for that kind of image for them. So that's why they utilize him. And they of course don't acknowledge any of that history.
I'm posting a clip of his brother's eulogy. It's very short. It's like 2 minutes if you want to pull it up. It's really good. It's really something that people talk about to this day. It was a pretty crazy. It still is a pretty remarkable moment.
Well, I mean, people are saying they can finally hear you clearly, which is awesome. The mic is working.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was spun around all this time. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, because the family was really against how they were using for a long time. They would constantly speak out again. They became, a big anti-war voice during the early 2000s after Tillman's death.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another thing that happened with conservatives during the Super Bowl, though, is I don't know if you all noticed, but during the national anthem and everything, in one of the shots of the one of the Navy ships with the Navy on board, there was a moment where there was a clip of the Navy board crew who wear color-coded uniforms to show what their role is on the Navy ship. And the way they were standing in a row, to conservatives watching, they thought that they were purposely dressed up in rainbow colors to create a rainbow formation. And so, for example, the Hodge twins came out and tweeted about how the NFL is turning the military gay with this rainbow crap. And all these conservatives started complaining about it. And like actual like military veterans had to come out and say like, no, this is the normal crew gear. It's not even rainbow colors. The colors are like brown, white, purple.
All the colors of the rainbow, brown.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing to see the true patriots who really care about the military seeing the Navy. First of all, the idea that the NFL needed to get involved to turn the military gay is a little bit too late, NFL. But in the Navy, I mean, but I mean, come on, like this is ridiculous. They see colors now. They see a mixture of colors, and they go, "Oh, LGBTQ!" Like they're obsessed. They're snowflakes. They're children. No, they're not even children. Children would see a rainbow and go, "Yay!"
Their brain's in a certain mode, so they're always looking for something, right? That's what it is. Like, what can I be triggered by next? Like, what's next? What's next? It's just that's how they operate.
They're snowflakes. They are the snowflakes that they claim we are. But they're worse. They're so much more hypersensitive. And this has always been the case. They've always been the Puritans. They've always been the pearl clutchers. And so when they were accusing us of being like SJWs, overly woke, hypersensitive PC snowflakes, that was just projection. Like, as they say, you know, every accusation is a confession. And that holds true with this as well.
They're all terrified of pronouns, like grown men terrified of pronouns. What's wrong with you? Like, oh, I have to use the English language the same way I've used it my entire life. No, they, them, the downfall of society.
I love the ones where like, I refuse to use pronouns. It's like, what? Say that again. What was that?
Who refuses to use pronouns?
And then any issue that happens, they blame it. Oh, it's because Biden's distracted by the woke mob and pronouns, like the train derailment. I think it was JD Vance on Tucker, and they're talking about, oh, they're too focused on woke stuff to focus on train regulation. Like, the Republican Party were the ones that repealed the ECP brakes on trains. Trains are using Civil War era brakes, Civil War era technology on these trains.
And the workers were warning everyone. The workers are like, please, for the love of God,
coming out a lot now,
like pay sick leave, but can you upgrade this fucking system instead of say, I don't know, spending $10 billion on stock buybacks like you're doing right now? Because this shit is fucked. It does all the time.
There's new reporting now about how the train was like 180 cars long, like something insane, like a ton of different cars, and essentially the workers were complaining before this derailment happened that was way too many, the load was too high, and these companies are doing that because they cut staff, they laid people off, so now they have less staff to actually have more trains, so they have less trains, less cars, more cars on each engine, and meanwhile, stock buybacks, and you have a complete lack of focus on safety because they don't have anybody. So they're laying everybody off, buying back their own stock to make themselves money. Meanwhile, these derailments keep happening. And one of Pete Buttigieg, he was on, I forget where he was, but one of his ways of defending what happened, because he's also part of the blame here as well, at least his inaction as it currently stands into dealing with future problems. One of the things he said was that this is one of hundreds of trains that derail every year, as if that's like a defense.
Like the one that no, but that is that's a regular thing they do in politics, right? Like they always seem to gotchas. No. The problem is far fucked up. It was fucked up first. It's been a you're new to this. You're new to this. Be true to this.
It's always been like this. It's been way worse. And that's their defense of the one issue. It's so crazy.
By the way, another train derailment today. Can anyone guess the company?
No.
Ooh, is
Norfolk
it the same
Southern.
one?
Once again, one of the cars was carrying hazardous material.
I didn't know this because like right now it really seems like America. If I go there, I'm either going to be like shot in a mass shooting or a train will just smash into me because like apparently this is a regular occurrence. Like people online were like, "Oh no, this happens hundreds of times a year." I was like, "It happens hundreds of times a year. What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh yeah, there's tons of train derailments." I was like, "Because of the same problem?" Yeah, I mean, they really could upgrade their own systems to protect both, towns, people, families, workers, all that kind of stuff. But bottom line is, it's just easier to keep this going as it is.
Bottom line is it's about the bottom line. That's what it's about. Yeah. These rail companies don't want to spend the cost that it would take to actually ensure all of their trains are safe. So they rather bear the brunt of the derailments that happen as opposed to ensuring they're all safe.
That's the problem. America's entire infrastructure is set up to be like that, like to make decisions that cost people, that are harmful to people because they make the money. When you think about just what is America's general corporation laws, like the fact that it's like your fiduciary duty is to make more money. You are in breach of your duty if you make a decision for another interest, right? You would think about it, but a capitalist society, a capitalist legal system that says no, the main focus is literally making money. Anything else you do is a problem. You are in breach. That's how you end up with Elon Musk going on Twitter and the whole infrastructure breaking down, right? Because this is the most money. You would be in breach of your duties to the shareholders if you didn't take this big money ass deal, even though we know this big clown is about to come here and fuck up the app. And now look, right?
But
because capitalism.
In defense of Elon, he did do one thing. He has really focused on one thing, and that's making sure his tweets are seen by everybody else. So that's where all of his focus has gone, and that has worked perfectly. We all see his tweets, so he's worked in that perfectly.
He's genuinely
what a clown.
He's actually running the app so bad that like my attention span is not long. So I moved on from even remembering to be bothering Elon, but like everybody else, which is why his engagement was down. No one gave a fuck anymore. Like whatever, we had already even come to terms with the basic level of glitches, but he is literally so hell bent on making this shit crumble, like that we have no choice, like out the blue, because the app will just go haywire. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even trying to think about you, Elon, but I'm locked out my account, bro. What's up? What's up? I can't see my timeline. Why can't I see my likes? What is up, my guy? Like that was the first time I truly understood. Like that was the first time in my life I thought about stocks in a way that wasn't make believe. Like, okay, this is earned. Like your Tesla, if I were a person in the stock world, yes, your shit has to crash, because why would I want a car by a man who can't run an app? I finally officially like, I've never had any smoke for when people talk about Teslas blow up and that, because I have a friend who's so into Teslas, but suddenly I was like, did you driving that for real? Like you feel safe? You feel sturdy? Like look at the app. I didn't even know Twitter. Like I've never seen a sustained glitch on Twitter in the 10-something years on the app, and now the whole shit. I'm like dead ass. The app is real life crumbling like King's Landing. Like that's how I got this shit at the end. Like I'm like, and we about to go out. Like seriously, I feel it. It's terrible.
I also love that he's doing the entire thing just because it's like, I want you to promote my tweets. And all the engineers are snitching on him. Because of course, if you had a team of people who are all like, oh, you have to go goblin mode and live inside the building and have terrible working conditions, and the kitchen's closing down and the food is shit, but keep going goblin mode for me. We're going to be awesome. We're going to make this app amazing. And also promote my tweets. That's what you have to do. Make my tweets good. Oh, and Cat Turd. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. I'm waking all of you up, but Cat Turd doesn't have engagement. Well, of course the fuck, if I was an engineer working there, I'd be like, yeah, this dictatorship is crazy. It is like, it is fucking the worst. This like, man, baby, we gotta do something about it. It's terrible.
No, it's
and Cat Turd still hates him. He fucking hates his gut.
Well,
it's unreal. Because you know what I think is ridiculous? Like when people are trying to dunk on you and the internet is cracking jokes on you and people are making you the main character, it's supposed to be like where the things are hyperbolic. Like all jokes aside, it's unreal the fact that we've been saying the whole time this is all about his ego and he wants our attention and stuff, and for it to be so shamelessly like you real life did this, you really took over this app, you did all this because it's that important to you. For a bunch of motherfuckers on Twitter to be checking for your tweet, like you really like at your big age, you're not embarrassed. Like
white supremacist, we should say that he's the reply guy for white supremacists. That's what he means.
I'd be embarrassed. Like I would be a little way. Like it's a little bit like embarrassing if you was like sending your boys your tweets and shit, like retweet it. Like I wouldn't go to y'all like that. Let alone like go get a bunch of grown adults like, get out your bed, get to the offices right fucking now. None of my shit's going viral.
And like, what set him off is that his Super Bowl day tweet didn't do as well as Joe Biden's did. Like and then he ended up deleting the tweet, not because the Eagles lost, but because his tweet didn't perform as well. Like it's so embarrassing.
I was wondering like what could possibly be more pathetic than getting upset that you put out support for a team that lost that you have no connection to. And it turns out you could get more pathetic, and that is getting mad that someone else's tweet about the losing team did better than yours did.
That's so like he's embarrassing, son. Like I'm genuinely ashamed. Like, why don't you have rich stuff
it's
to
big
do?
divorce. Yeah, I know.
And
I know.
yeah,
Enjoy yourself. You could do anything. You could literally do anything, and you're choosing to like live in this nightmare that you create in order to like please the far right. That's so sad. So
well, it's like, okay, you're rich, go do rich people things, as Ole said, go on your yacht and stuff. But when he tried that, we all made fun of him because of that fucked up picture of his weird body, remember? So he can't do that. He's constantly getting made fun of.
He should take that up with Jesus. Okay, he can't get in between. But like that doesn't concern us. Your problems with the Lord is between you and him. but clearly, this is worse. We would have moved on, but now you've made us hate you. You know what I think is interesting about people like for to be so hyper concerned with like popularity or likability. Clearly, it's not just like you want attention, but you also want to be liked by the very people that you insist on shitting on. You want to be loved by us. My guy, if they stop important to you, just be fake. Nigga, we done told you what to do. Like, I mean, I just like honestly, like for the love of God, people act like they do all of this and they obsess. Like, bro, just go be likable. They do everything but be likable. We've already told you. Like, it's not difficult. Stop doing all the shit you're doing. That's why, if you were wondering like what we don't like about you, is all that shit, right? Like rearrange that.
Everything.
So figure that out, right? You have billions of dollars. Certainly you could get some friends that we like. You don't have to kick it with the white supremacists. That feels like a choice. Feels like a choice. I mean, billions of dollars, you should holler at Beyonce, but no.
You want to be Pat Turd's reply guy. You want to be Ian Miles Strong's reply guy. You are choosing to do that. Yes.
And as Infinite Content in the chat mentions, Elon Musk, it's now being reported as of today that Tesla apparently fired dozens of employees in retaliation for union organizing. This is in Buffalo. So right now there's a campaign going on to organize their union, and he just fired a bunch of them.
David, there was massive recalls today, hundreds of thousands of cars.
Yeah, that as well.
The
Yeah.
autopilot function. The autopilot function is no more because apparently
not autopilots. The full self-driving. That's a different thing,
Right,
but it's an autonomous thing. Also, it should be mentioned that the recall is basically they need to issue a software update to all these vehicles. Like people aren't going to actually be returning these cars, but it's still a recall, technically a recall nonetheless.
The man is a villain and a fool, and more important than being a villain. No, it's like dead ass. Like the least you could do when people don't like you is be on your shit, right? Like no, on dead ass. Like we're talking all this shit. Why? You already know we've been trying to prove. So many people didn't like Elon before this, right? Nowhere near to this magnitude because a lot of us just didn't have a need to check for him. But people were always alleging that you are not truly a genius, that Tesla has all these problems, that shit blows up on your watch, that things break down, that you're a shoddy businessman. But people had been alleging that you were a fool, but we didn't know you weren't close enough. You weren't close enough.
And potential sexual assaulter. We should mention
right,
that too.
And morally bankrupt deviant. You are filled with problem, but you had some distance between that. People could still like reasonably get it off, but now it's like whether or not people want to be in your business, whether or not they need to be focused, whether or not they need to be making the case. Millions of people on this app and they are watching it fall apart. Like, so now, not only are you dislikable, not only do you have all this other stuff that was, maybe you could have beat those allegations, but now we know you're a fool. So you a villain. You a bigot in real time. You a hypocrite. All that shit you was talking about, all those pretense, all that free speech, all that nonsense. We already know. Oh, you full of shit. We done seen the poll. Like, the hypocrisy abounds. But on top of that, you fucking up the app. You could at least, let me tell you something. If you're going to be disliked, run your shit smooth. Like the least you could do if you want to be a fucking morally bankrupt villain, give us a product that works. Jeff Bezos knows why Amazon Prime is efficient, nigga. You get your shit in 2 days. He knows.
Right.
She's not wrong.
No, dead ass. You dislike me, but you can't cancel your membership. You can't lie on Amazon Prime. But this shit, Twitter is broke down. Like you can't even lie for it. It don't work, my guy. He doesn't even know what's wrong. He can't even come up with that. He can't even answer the allegations. He just there like.
But you have to hear out Joe Rogan, all right? So I got a clip here from Mr. Joe Rogan about Elon Musk.
Oh God.
I found this clip because I heard this happened. Actually, I haven't watched the clip yet, but I hear it's great. So let's.
Yeah, I heard it's a banger that Glenn Greenwald promoted.
And David, after this clip, we should catch up with our Word document. We've only done one.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
Yes, Blair, get us.
I got you guys.
See how this plays
Thank
out.
you.
There's an amazing amount of resistance against him, and there's just the publicity campaign against him has been fascinating to watch. People go from thinking that Elon Musk is the savior that's bringing us these amazing electric cars and engineering new reusable rockets to he's an alt-right piece of shit who wants Donald Trump back in the office, and it's very wild. The speed with which they can
Oh God!
There he is.
Hitler of the Month Club. Yeah,
Elon's number one dick rider.
He's a press release agent.
We've
PR
always done this with
spokesperson Matt
foreigners,
Taibbi.
whether it's Noriega or Saddam Hussein or Milosevic or
what?
Assad or
Who's
whatever it is.
Noriega and
We
Saddam
have a
Hussein?
playbook for cranking out
The
negative
subtitles are
information
fucking up.
about.
It respelled Saddam Hussein as sodomy, and so
The
that's
subtitles are wrong. Ignore the subtitles.
I didn't see that.
It's talking about sodomy. No,
It
he's talking
said
about
sodomy.
It did say sodomy, but he's talking about much worse things. Okay, we're talking about Saddam Hussein, not sodomy, which can be based.
Can we go back just so I can see that? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
With Noriega or sodomy.
Freudian sub.
This is Matt
I
Taibbi here, of
love
course.
Beautiful.
Matt Taibbi, left-wing journalist. Don't say he's right-wing. Left-wing journalist Matt Taibbi. All right, anyways, let's continue.
Not a
that's what this is?
Whether it's Noriega or
the Twitter
Saddam
files guy.
Hussein or Milosevic or Assad or whatever it is. We have a playbook for cranking out negative information about foreigners who get in our way for whatever
Foreigners,
reason.
pause.
But now
Uh-uh.
we've kind of refined that technique for domestic people who
Stop
are inconvenient. I think they did it with Trump, obviously.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I mean, we watched this clip.
Grab about that dress.
Go ahead. No, Ole, go ahead. You called pause first, I think. Go ahead.
First of all, who is this?
This is Matt Taibbi. You probably know him as the Twitter Files guy, the main Twitter Files guy.
Oh, okay.
A long history of being an opinion journalist for a lot of different publications. He was living in Russia for a while and made a really edgy kind of we're going to joke about, a whole bunch of weird things, sexual assault, stuff like that. And then he kind of got mildly canceled by NPR. I want to say mildly because it was the mildest, basically. Your old writing was kind of weird and objectionable, but it was fiction. Do you stand by those opinions anymore? So
to be fair though, we did skip over Matt Taibbi did do some actual good work.
Yes,
for several years.
Glenn Greenwald, exact same situation.
And then kind of made this wacko turn.
He got Me Too'd and turned and became how it usually happens.
You can't.
They become contrarian right wingers.
You can't say it's a publicity machine when the man himself is literally calling his employees make me trend. Make me trend. I want the attention. Not a publicity machine, bro. He's literally feeding it to us. He does not have. He could take over Twitter. You know how it normally works, right? Normally, when normal billionaires do normal regular villains, they make these kinds of moves. If we happen to hear about it, we talk some shit. They don't acknowledge us. They don't give a fuck, and they go do what they want with their company. And that's we don't know what the day-to-day happenings are. Elon Musk has made an executive decision to make this a personal circus, and he said, listen here, monkeys, y'all are in this circus too. Y'all are in this circus. You're gonna be involved, and if you stop paying attention, I will make sure you show up on my feed. You can't present it when that is what he's actively
and now it looks
doing.
like Taibbi's about to defend Tucker Carlson, so looking forward to hearing.
Wait, I just want to point out. I just want to point out that one of his examples for the unfair negative press machine is a fucking president of the United States.
Yeah.
Why don't you go after? Why don't you go after that guy? I mean, it's all off the wall here. We're going too far. A negative press machine on the most powerful man on the planet. We're going too far here. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
I think they did it with Trump, obviously. They tried to do it with Tucker Carlson, with you. You got a taste of that for a few times.
Yeah, it's interesting,
right? And then with Elon, he went from being the guy who made electric cars sexy to
something to the right of Viktor Orban in like 10 seconds. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and the narrative is spread through progressive people. Well, they'll just say it now. It's like they've reached the memo. The memo's got to them, and then I hear people in LA. I hear people that I know like, "Oh, Elon's just so crazy." It's like something happened to him. He went nuts, and he's a right winger now. Like, how? What are you saying? Like,
What do you mean how? He's
Bitch,
on.
we read. You fucking idiot. You fucking moron. I fucking hate Joe Rogan. What a piece of shit. You know what bothers me so much? I used to watch this dumbass podcast like years ago before when I gotta be honest. Rogan.
You look like a Rogan guy.
Different. The show was different. It was a different show. Like he had Cenk Uygur on, he had Anarchist, like he had actual people on with different perspectives. Now it's just a fucking right wing piece of shit. But let's just finish these 10 seconds.
What examples do you have? Like they don't have an example. They just have this narrative that reached them as signal.
You
like
don't have
Elon
an
bad
example.
now.
Oh, right.
Elon
What
bad
the
now.
fuck are you talking about?
The union busting, like holy shit, the about.
Yeah, I pulled up a few older articles just to show this isn't something that just happened after he took over Twitter.
Oh
2018, Tesla workers in The Guardian, September 2018. Tesla workers speak out. Anything pro-union is shut down really fast. That sounds like a left-wing guy from Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, the left-winger. 2019, September 2019, Vox. Elon Musk broke U.S. labor laws. An administrative judge says Tesla tried to sabotage efforts to unionize factory workers in California. Another one of those left-wingers who's just been demonized for buying Twitter in 2023. Just this unbelievable bullshit. I mean, and as we talked about this earlier on the Majority Report, this clip, and Matt Leck of the Majority Report had this to point out. I'm going to send you the tweet here. Because let me just pull it up for a second. If anyone wants to I think Ole wanted to say something. Go ahead. Well, I get you guys this tweet.
Do your thing.
Just gonna quickly pull this tweet up. This is Matt Taibbi himself in 2018, before he went on after he went on the Michael Brooks show, or before he went on the Michael Brooks show. Pull up this tweet from Matt Taibbi. Those, all those weird people who were, no one was talking shit about Elon Musk before he bought Twitter, right? Scroll down to that, the date there.
Wait.
Matt Taibbi, July 2018, in a reply to the Michael Brooks show, because he was going to be on the show.
Scroll over. Let me read this caption.
About to go on the Michael Brooks show, who is tearing Elon Musk a new one right now.
2018.
He became his PR guy. That sucks.
I wonder if the leftist hive mind got into his brain and told him to say that about Elon Musk.
Somebody went back in time from today to plant this in his brain so that he would do that back then.
That's what I hate. Like, it's just every week, bro. It's like these people are disingenuous. That's the thing. It's so ridiculous to have to be. You're operating in good faith. You have certain beliefs and principles, and you got to be talking to people who don't believe the shit. They just doing whatever to get a check. They know they're full of shit. That's what it is. It's a politics of gaslighting that's unreal. For you to set up and be unreasonable, like they just started. Even if, first of all, this idea that there might be, magnified hate for Elon Musk now. Yeah, because he literally took over intentionally. So he as they would say in the law, he thrust himself onto the public stage. You know what I mean? Like he literally did. That's so. Yes, of course. Now people weren't paying attention because at the end of the day, you're not a pop culture figure, right? Like you're a billionaire. Your name is known, but we're not paying attention to you. You're not an attractive man. Your average bear is not interested in your tech shit. Not everybody can afford a Tesla. Why would we be talking about that? So you're not going to be as much of a focus. But if you take over an app and say, hey, you have to see everything I say, and I'm being a villain, and I'm destroying the app, and I'm letting the bigots back on, and everyone, and all of a sudden you're getting called every kind of racial slur, then yeah, people won't fucking like you. And you can't just say, people can't point to a reason. People quote tweet the reasons all fucking day. It's the shit he's saying. The shit he's saying and doing, he's actively espousing it. It's not like he's pretending he's sitting up with the white supremacists. He's advocating for this. He's chopping it up with them. What are you talking about? He out here commenting back at libs at TikTok like, And however could I solve your problems? What do you mean we can't point to it? Like it's the disingenuousness that's meant to drive you fucking mentally ill debating with these people. Like at the very least, just be a piece of shit and defend your position. But what they do is try to trick you and say it's not that. Like I would never say if somebody got up on their show and they were like, she hates the police. I would never be like, that is crazy how they would just make up something like that about you.
That is a false characterization.
Let me explain to you intellectually why fuck the police, but I'm not gonna stress you and be like, now where exactly did you take that from hate? Have you seen into my spirit to know what my problem is with the police?
Yeah, it's cowardly. And on that same note of disingenuity, so J.K. Rowling did an interview with Megan Phelps Roper, and can you guess what she had the audacity to say? People who thought that she was transphobic, they were mistaken.
Yeah.
This author, I think somebody pointed this out.
Why is the focus on fucking how bad J.K. Rowling has it? This billionaire, fucking beloved internationally superstar. It's like, hey, by the way, literally trans people are being killed on the streets. Why are we talking about J.K. Rowling and how bad she's having it or how bad her experiences is? You know? It's because
and you know what's disgusting? I tweeted about that today. The fact that like what is it? Over 800 contributing authors to the New York Times signed a letter like calling them out about their like anti-trans editorial bias. And today, these motherfuckers put out a piece like in defense of J.K. Rowling.
It's just a slap in the face. Like they know what they're doing. It's sickening. And I've got to also point out, somebody said Megan Phelps Roper in the chat, which is hilarious, by the way. But she is the individual who's interviewing J.K. Rowling for that particular podcast that I referenced. And this is somebody who came from the Westboro Baptist
Trials
Church.
of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, it's called The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling. And so she claims that she left the Westboro Baptist Church. She left religious extremism. And this is supposed to be like an objective, unbiased interview. The problem is that the name, The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling, like I get the wizard and witch pun, but still it paints her as a victim. And on top of that, what was I going to say? Fuck, I lost my train of thought. But anyways...
I can add to that it's absolutely disgusting when you think about what you were trying to remember, that also the BBC came out and issued an apology to J.K. Rowling where they're like, we deeply apologize for ever, not standing up for, the princess during these difficult times. And it's like, motherfuckers, do you not realize that no one is saying that like they're attacking J.K. Rowling for no reason? It's like you are using your platform to spread massive amounts of transphobia, and it has a real world effect. It like you are a fucking institution, you're one of the biggest fucking franchises in the world, in the history of humanity. This shit means something.
Right. Like they act as though, right? Like here's the thing. There's a difference between like inaction and action, right? Everybody is not out here. Most people, think about this, right? Most people in the world are not anywhere espousing anything. They're not, they're not taking up causes. They don't have something that they are known for, they advocate for, let alone most people. She is a fucking children's book author. She's a children's book author. She is a children's book author. You know her for nothing fucking else than being a children's book author. She has no qualifications of any of the kind, and that she's a writer. That's what we know her for. But she has taken it upon herself to the thing she chooses. She fucking chooses. She volunteers to thrust herself as I'm going to be figured as speaking anti against this community. It does not matter how you fucking slice and dice this. What she is anti-trans, and she's made it a point to be a thing. It's not like a one comment. It's not like you say something one time, people shit on you about it, you double down, well, this is my
crusade.
And then you leave it alone. It's a crusade. This is an active thing. Like I don't say when people decide, people say, oh, she's a prominent Rikers activist. You know why? Because I fucking talk about Rikers nonstop. That's how that happens. You can't say, so if you constantly speak anti-trans, yes, that's what you are now known for, and you are not the victim there. And this idea, they do it intentionally because, again, it's a politics of distraction. If we focus on this, and we make it about, let's make it about this white woman, and then that's something, speech, and you should be able, because what they're trying to do is like affirm and legitimize bigotry. Like, hey, that feeling in you that makes you want to say, fuck these people, I don't want to make that extra efforts or whatever. Let's give you a way to make that palatable. Let's slap this woman you like. Let's make it about, how she's being threatened, she's being this. But at the end of the day, bro, she has a choice. There's nothing that is making her. She is not some victim. She's not something. If you choose to speak, that's what you deal with. You deal with a world of response. You deal with that. People are going to call you everything but a child of God. I see a movement that has nothing to do with you. And now you are the victim. It is disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say that the interview is being published on the Free Press, which is Barry Weiss's outlet, who also did Turf Apologia as well. So that gets rid of this idea that this is some unbiased interview. It's going to be, you know, the softball piece for J.K. Rowling, and as if she's the victim, and trans people have victimized her. They've lobbed death threats at her, and they've called her these names. And isn't it terrible? She's just asking these questions. It's like the disingenuity is terrible, because if you're gonna be that much of a bigot and tweet from your castle about trans people every fucking minute of the day, at least own it. Say it with your full chest. Own your fucking bigotry. Don't be a coward. That's what I hate.
Just own it. That's like, that is the thing. And let me tell you something. That's I say this all the time. That's the one thing I appreciate about Bahamian people. When Bahamian people are terrible, boy, are they just terrible. They'll admit, like, oh, we hate this thing, they just step into, yes, bigotry is in the majority and we feeling it. So, like, but this idea, only in America is it like the fight always around people who truly just, they want you to affirm the bigotry and call it something else. That's what it is. It's like, how do I beat you over the head? How do I manipulate you? How do I gaslight you? How do I force you to say that me being a bigot isn't bigotry, even though I am? Just be that.
Not only is it not bigotry, it's heroic to actually speak out against it. Like, they want to be the heroes of the story. It's so fucking disgusting. Like, I don't understand this. How can anybody, like, I've never understood the obsession with people living their lives the way they want to live it. Like, it's so, trans people just want to exist. Like, how does that offend you so much? How does that impact your life at all? It's so weird and bizarre and terrible.
That's the part of it, though. Like, this doesn't concern you. When you got a Matt Walsh or J.K. Rowling, they're going after these people. That's not your people. You don't have trans kids. You don't know trans people. Like, all of a sudden, it's just like you are trying to control and manipulate other groups. That's the fucked up thing about it.
Dang. I saw somebody today, a troll I blocked immediately, commented on, because I told you I tweeted that about the New York Times, and they commented, they were like, they responded to a trans person in my comments. The trans person was like, I'm not, subscribed to the New York Times anymore because I'm not going to support a publication that, supports people who want me dead, right? So here comes some transphobic bigot response like, no one wants you dead. They just don't want to live in their delusions with you. Let's ignore the former even for a moment and say this. You can't, if you're not dealing with it, is literally you forcing yourself onto people, because at the end of the day, if someone's identity, someone is making determinations for you on how they want to be dealt with, right? You don't have to fucking deal with them. If you have a problem with trans people, you don't want trans people in your life. That's not a part of your life. You literally don't ever have to deal with it. You don't even have to be burdened with that. That's not a part of life. You are taking an affirmative step to make this your fucking business. If they wanted you to live, it's not them trying to get you to live in their delusion. They're not fucking talking to you. According to you, you don't know for no fucking trans people. You're not in community with trans people. No, you are going out of your way to try to find ways to be in their business, to make them the topic of conversation. I've never in my fucking life, if you were truly disinterested, you would leave them a fuck alone. I can't think of anybody, any group that I am not interested in that I'm like, let me talk about them. What they thinking about? Let me devote my
and you have to police them. You have to draw legislation to control them. You have to be able to control their sex lives. You have to be controlled like every aspect. Their medical treatments. Do you want to control and be in the room with the doctor and the parents and the kids? It's like it doesn't concern you. These are strangers and their children. Why are you trying to step in there and be like, you shouldn't be allowed to have healthcare or medicine? And it's like, well, is that because you have a deep concern about this, or because you don't understand it? Well, I just think it's weird and scary to me. So I don't think you should have healthcare, child.
They're projecting their own fears. It's a fear of them not understanding things, and they make that their entire personality. It's so, the whole thing is so, I still have trouble understanding it.
You don't even need to understand it. At the end of the day, most people, listen, in real life, most people barely give a fuck about the people in their life they're supposed to give a fuck about. Okay? They barely give enough of an important fuck about themselves. You do not need to understand it. How many people in your life you don't understand what the fuck they're doing? Why is it all of a sudden when it comes to gender identity, sexual orientation, all of a sudden now you feel like you need to have an understanding of what else anybody else is doing? All kind of people walking around with all kind of religions, doing all kind of shit, doing all kind of hobbies. You never feel like you need to understand it. None of you decide you need to have a PhD in religious studies or cultural identities or any of these other things. You don't need to understand it. You simply need to you have two choices. respect people when you deal with them or leave them the fuck alone. Just two choices. Just two choices. You don't need to be educated in nothing simply to respect people. That's how it works. This idea that inherently the idea that you feel like other people owe you an explanation and they have to convince you, they have to beat you over the head to get you to afford them the same level of rights or civility as everybody else is something steeped in white privilege, white entitlement, racism. That's what that is. Because why do you feel like every other group needs your fucking approval? Why does everybody need to give you a fucking free PhD course and beat it over your head and give you an A you didn't earn for you to decide to be fucking decent? I don't understand half the shit white people doing, but I don't say shit about it. Okay, you don't tell me I'm not in your business. I'm not asking why you're going to do it.
That's right though. Like it's just about human decency. It's just about being kind. Like just be a person. That's it. Just be a person.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah, that was beautifully put.
Thank you. I gotta rant off.
Illuminati, multiple people are asking for me to bring up the fact that the docs have not been addressed yet, and we're probably really far behind.
Yeah, well, so some of the questions are absolutely being addressed as we're going, so I'm kind of deleting those as we're going.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah,
Wait,
no.
where can I?
Oh, Matt died.
Bender,
yeah,
froze.
You glitched out.
Oh, damn.
Matt, come back.
No. Matt.
Elon took him.
Elon took him again.
Elon, why?
Hello? How am I back?
He's back.
You're back.
That was weird. All right, cool. Where do I see the questions?
It's in the Twitter DM. The docs.
Can we see them?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I can see them, but in the Twitter DMs somewhere towards the top, I think I had a response where you guys could see the answers. But if not, I just in this chat is the question asking.
I don't
one.
mind seeing not seeing the questions. I just want to hear them.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
announce them.
Matt froze again. Bender.
No, Matt.
But in a great freeze frame, you're smiling. You look elegant.
All right, now you're back. Now you're back. There you are.
Oh, you know what's happening? I have this automated system.
What are you
that
downloading?
I automatically back up my computer every like hour to backblaze. And I guess I forgot to turn it off. It was backing up. It should be fine now. I paused it.
What's going on?
Yep. So you got to reset because I was frozen. The form didn't show up in the chat for me, so you might have to resend that.
Here, let me resend the form. Hold on. But
I did link to it, but by the way, for people in the chat, I did. It is pinned to ask questions. It is pinned in my chat. Just the question form is.
Oh, that's a good. I should pin that too. I didn't even think about that.
Smart.
There.
I'm a boomer, and
also at some point, I just want to put this out now, so I make sure we get to it. There's. We don't have to do this, but it made me kind of laugh and help explain some things with Mr. Jimmy Dore. There's a great clip. He was on Tim Pool. And I saw it clipped out, so I want to share that in a bit. But
oh wait, hold on. I see the form, but do we have access to the form that shows the questions?
That's what Illuminati's gonna do.
That's what I have.
Oh, okay. So I had the form. Okay, I thought we could all see the questions. I didn't realize it was a private thing just for Illuminati.
Yeah, no, these are my. This is how I control society. Come on now. How am I supposed to control society if I'm not allowed to have the questions?
Do you want to get to that Dore thing now, or do you want to wait for Olay to get back? Or I saw the Dore thing. It's pretty incredible.
I didn't see the Dore thing, but I have to and I want to see it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what? Let's get Dore out of the way.
Do we have the other clip though that we need to show to compare it to? There's a secondary clip we need. Maybe we didn't see the same clip then, David.
All right, so probably not. I mean, this one is the capture is weird on it. And there is an edit. I'm just going to be clear about that. I'm not sure what it edits out, but regardless, what Jimmy says here, to me, was just like, wow, okay, that's why he does what he's doing. So here's this clip.
People I've seen this shit.
Having conflict with and ego conscious. So I have these dreams where my enemies or people who I'm having conflict with in ego consciousness show up in my dreams. And I don't know if you've ever acted in a play, but after you do the play, everybody kind of changes out of their costumes, and it doesn't happen all at once. You're waiting, and then you all kind of wait, and you all go out for a cocktail. And so every time I'm in my dream with Cenk Uygur, it's like we just finished a play. We were adversaries where we hated each other, and now it's after the play, and we're waiting to go out and have a cocktail, and there's no animosity. We're the best of friends. I'm in this parallel consciousness, and there's Cenk Uygur, and he and I are hanging out, and when I wake up, I feel good about him. It's the weirdest thing. It carries through. I really don't have much animosity towards Cenk Uygur anymore
because he made your fucking career, you dipshit. Anyway.
I don't even know if we should. I don't even know if it's worth even like answering this. Can we just talk about how insanely bizarre it is that Jimmy Dore is having dreams about Cenk Uygur and their buddies again? Like, there's some deep-seated something going on there. This guy needs to go see a therapist. This guy needs to seek psychological help. There is something wrong here. I can tell you right now, I don't have dreams about any of you guys, any of the Daily Wire people. I don't got dreams about Elon Musk. I don't got dreams about any of this shit. This is insanely. I don't got dreams about Sam Cedar. I don't got dreams about any of this shit. This is so insanely bizarre that Jimmy Dore is openly talking about having
this week.
dreams of Cenk Uygur and them being friends and buddies once again. I mean, it really does explain a lot.
Okay, what this explains to me, and look, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but this is how Jimmy does what he does, because he used to not obviously do what he does. He's a right-wing grifter now, but he thinks of himself as a character in a play, and that they're just playing roles. And of course he doesn't. First of all, why would he hate Cenk? What did Jimmy left the Young Turks because he decided to. He wasn't like nothing. Why would he hate Cenk? he made his career. So this idea that there's even animosity from his end is, to me, completely bizarre. But this idea of his dream and like how they play these roles and they go for cocktails afterwards. This is what I think a lot of right wingers do. People that maybe have done were different kinds of people in the past and maybe did try to do good and now are in a shitty role or doing something terrible and they're doing it for money. They justify it to themselves in various ways. I think the way that Jimmy is doing it is that he just views all this stuff as just a game, and he's just playing this character, and you're playing a character, and sometimes you fight, but you're all just characters, and none of it's really serious, even though what you're saying and doing has an impact on people that are watching you, listening to you, and now they believe the garbage you are spewing on a daily basis. But
okay, well, all jokes aside, the things that he was posting yesterday are actually dangerous. He was starting to post all this stuff about how you shouldn't get your kids vaccinated because at the end of the day, there's a 0% chance of them ever dying from COVID. It's the eighth leading cause of death of children in the United States. So you can't keep running down this road of spreading dangerous, ascientifical, super fucked up information and get away with it. At some point someone has to say something and be like, that's really fucked up, because it's only 1% of children, or sorry, less than 1% of children will die from COVID in the US. That's still hundreds of thousands of kids. That's it's not insignificant. Your audience, by the way, there's a disproportionate amount of Republicans who die from COVID than Democrats. It's demonstratable almost to a factor of 2 times right now. It's sad. It's like you are killing your audience. Joe Rogan's, Jimmy Dore's, all of them when they're like, you know what, you should be vaccinated. You kill them die. Fans who love you.
Let them die, lads.
Okay, I'm with Olay.
Let them die. If they want to die, listen, you could lead a horse.
They don't want to die. They're being brainwashed. That's the problem.
They're being brainwashed. It's not their fault.
It's millionaires being paid by billionaires. That's the problem. If Tucker Carlson goes on TV and he's spreading dangerous vaccine information,
you are but a man mortal. Who are you to get in between what they and Jesus are applying for their life? If they want to fucking die, that's not on you.
But to them, they don't. But to them, you want to save their lives.
They're brainwashed.
Yes, they're brainwashed. Exactly, they're brainwashed.
Yes, on every single level. It's a shitty thing. They're being brainwashed.
I feel like
they are making a choice. Listen, it goes one way. You heard? We say get the vaccine. Either you fucking do or you don't. If you want to make it to the vaccine,
your heroes are lying to you. That's the problem. The people who you trust, your fans right now, if they were trusting you and you all of a sudden for money were gifting them.
If you trust a bitch that'll try to kill you in a pandemic, that's on you. If you are in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying all across the fucking world, and you choose to believe one dipshit talking shit no, don't take the antidotes. Then that's on you. I can't not a lie. Means associate
We've all been poisoned.
Somebody said
you gotta know it's a lie. It'll turn you into Magneto.
Someone was at a lie. I mean, he's a sociopath. I'm not a sociopath. Am I killing people?
Wow. You're kind of telling these people should just fucking die.
I am fully.
We are trying to unbrainwash people. We don't want people to
Worry
die.
about your audience. I got the vaccine. I got fully boosted and I told my followers.
People.
I'm madder at the Jimmy Dores. I'm madder at the Jimmy Dores and the Joe Rogans who do this shit full well sometimes knowing that this can result in their own audiences dying. Like, fuck them. Like that, they're the bigger picture.
I'm just kind of amazed they're still on this anti-vax shit. Like, there's nothing else going on. Like, this is still.
They think they've been
this is the
proven right.
big moneymaker still. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, I have a bunch of anti-vax family members. I've just washed my hands with it. Like, I spent a year of my life trying to convince them, trying to send them every article, every study that breaks it down into layman's terms, and I've
That's
given
not
up.
going to work
It's
on
like,
that.
yeah, you've made that choice, so I don't know what to say. Like, I have members of my family who convinced my grandma, who was in her 90s, to not get the vaccine. And I don't know if she had COVID, but she was admitted to the hospital. Like, the nurses were telling my other aunts and uncles that my aunties were there trying to convince her not to get the vaccine. She ended up dying. So I don't know if she died of COVID or not, but she wasn't vaccinated because my aunties told her not to. So it's like, this is a death cult, and I'm done trying to convince them. Like, they do damage. And like, really, I think that
And
the
in
ire
their
should be
minds.
directed towards the people like Jimmy Dore who do spread this stuff. But it's just, there's only so much that you can do. There's so much information out there, and I feel like we've tried, right? At least me, like I've tried with everything in my power to get these folks to see the light. And at this point in time, I feel like it's out of our control, right? You know, they're adults, they can make their decision. What makes me sad is that they're brainwashed, and their kids don't have a choice in the matter, right? If you're a kid and they're not going to get their kids vaccinated, that's where it's really sad.
But that's why I want to target the actual people who profit off of this, because they are the actual people. Like Joe Rogan, Spotify, I mean, it is the largest podcast in the world. 11 million listeners listen to it. It's actually serious that he says to his audience on a regular basis, and platforms anti-vax conspiracy theorists and people who listen to him, like, they could potentially get sick. So that's why I'm fine going after the Joe Rogans, the Jimmy Dores, all of these fucking clown shoes grifters who are fine spreading that kind of stuff for money. That's the shit, like the fucked up thing about it all.
Yeah. There's a financial incentive to spread this, and people flock to that like stank on shit if they're already conspiratorial minded. So if you put that out there and you get a lot of views and clicks, then you get that positive reinforcement. You do it again, your audience rewards you, you grow, win-win. But then you, I guess, eventually lose sight of or lose the capacity to realize like the effect you're having, or you genuinely believe, as is the case maybe with Jimmy Dore, that you are like spreading truth. I don't even know, honestly, but it's sick. And
a lot of them do convince themselves that they're right, and that's how they're able to live with themselves for doing this. That they just convince themselves that they're on the right side.
Okay, so here's a point of view that I talked about recently in an episode that I did about talking about, is Make America Great Again classified as an actual cult? So something you have to consider when we're talking about saying these people are brainwashed, right, is if someone has been brainwashed, then we have to treat them a certain way, which is through hope. Because if you're going to essentially admit that a group of people is brainwashed, then you're admitting that they've essentially been through a bunch of psychological trauma, which means to a degree, you can't even fully fault them for the actions that they do. You can to a degree, but there's a point where you go, they weren't even in the right headspace anymore. So if we're going to talk about someone being brainwashed, we have to start coming to these people with empathy. And it can be hard to treat these folks that believe in Trumpism and Q and stuff with empathy. And that's kind of just, I don't know. I'm not so quick to say they've been brainwashed. I get where you guys are coming from, where these people have these huge megaphone voices.
Okay. Illuminati brought it right there to the end, right? Because I was objecting to the brainwash shit from then for the exact reason.
But when it comes to them hurting themselves, that has to be brainwashing, right? They're not masochists. Like when it comes to doing something that's going to hurt them,
choosing intentionally to kill themselves.
But you have to think about it from their perspective, right? They're being told that taking this vaccine is going to like kill them, essentially, right? So if you believe that this is going to hurt you, why would you do that?
My anger is not at them, though. I'm not angry at the people who actually believe that.
Y'all gotta acknowledge it.
It's the people who profit off. It's the Joe Rogans and people who make money off spreading that shit.
Let's keep it G real, okay? Let's keep it G real. the people, the commentators, the people that we deal with, that what's on the right are people that are not even fucking qualified. They know that there's all kind of evidence out there. It's literally a known fact. It's in the courts of the law that Tucker Carlson and all this show is some foolishness and never to be believed. All the evidence is out there. They make a conscious fucking decision that this is the bullshit that they like. This is what they want to hear. They like that affirming shit. It's not for a lack of resources out there that they're not hearing us or that they're not hearing these points of views. They actively don't fucking want to hear it. When they hear it, it is a problem. They don't want to hear from those people. This is a choice. Yes, to some degree, yes, there's information. There are some people that get caught up in it if you're indoctrinated and you're raised in certain kind of households, and that's unfortunate. Yes, oh yeah, the children. But you know what children grow up to be? Products of their environment and their parents. So you know what? They're gonna probably grow up to be like, yeah, okay, let's focus less on that. Like, yeah, they're being fed this, but there's a choice in it. They know, and what do they do? When you create systems of fact checkers, when they see it come out like, this is misinformation, this is actual, this, you know what they say? Oh my God, fuck all this, woke agenda, blah, 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 blah. That's what they do. They choose to dismiss it. So you only, hurting your own head thinking, let me try to save these people because they don't want to be fucking
That
saved.
isn't every single person, though. Like,
Not
there are people that can't.
Definitely, I don't think it's enough.
That's kind of the point, though. Like, you want to pull people off the edge who can be pulled. Obviously, you can't save everybody. But like there are people who are just uninformed, and then if they hear the message, then they become informed, and they're willing to listen. It's about finding those people. That's not going to be everybody. It's not going to be most people, even. But there is that.
I think there's definitely a difference between the different people who believe in this stuff. I call the people who are, because we have to get past the idea. A lot of people seem to think that, everyone is pulled down this hole, and they're not actually this way. All people start from, not believing this stuff, and they could become good if they weren't. No, I'm sorry. I call them true believers. There are people who are just racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic. They're just bigots. And those are usually the people who are the grifters. Those are usually the people who form the organizations, who go out there and really spread this stuff. And there's no saving them because this is who they are. They are bad people. But there are also people who they bring into this who could be pulled out. This is not maybe who they are. They are brought in on false pretenses. They're not, very smart, or they're very susceptible to being fooled into believing this stuff, and they fall down these rabbit holes. And I do think it is worthwhile to try to reach these people, but I also don't think it's a worthwhile effort, broadly speaking, from just like people like us. Like, I know we put this stuff out there in hopes that like people find our content, and that's what I do. Why one of the reasons why I do what I do with my content. But like, we can't spend time going out and trying to reach individuals. That's something that their family, their friends need to do, because like if these people,
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Like it's good that maybe their family and friends can use our content, what we put out there, as the material to pull them out, but we can't be the ones to pull those people out on our own.
No, I agree with that.
I agree with that. My point being that I think the people who have more impact in terms of damage are the ones that I want to criticize, such as, again, the Joe Rogans and the Jimmy Dores who spread that information, rather than simply going after the people who fell into that for whatever reason. They're the ones that actually have more power. They're the ones that actually have like massive microphones and massive megaphones that are spreading out to everybody else, and they're the ones that are spreading this shit. So that's why I think that should be our focus.
Yeah, like even in the
everyone here, I know we're all disagreeing, but like it's respectfully different.
Even in the early days of COVID, when there were people who are the early days of the vaccine, when there were people who were in the hospital with COVID, and then they were talking about how they were regretting it and they wish they got the vaccine. I didn't cover that going, ha ha, you got the COVID because you get the vaccine. I was covering that as a way to be like, hey, this person once thought this way, now they think this way because they had this experience. And this is a learning experience for people. So meanwhile, as Lance said, people that are actually spreading the misinformation, those are the ones that deserve our vitriol, our coverage, because they're the ones that are actually the ones that are in the process here of confusing people about what the reality is.
Well, don't get me wrong, by the way. in relation to me actually directly agreeing with Olay, if there's this person who's coming before me and all of a sudden like starts speaking and it's like indigenous people are alcoholics or something like that, I'm obviously going to be fucking furious at that person at that moment, right? But I think in terms of like the person I want to call out is the larger figures that are fucking imparting that information to that person. Like, where did you get that from? How did that come? Is it directly from X person or systemic racism? What's the reason? Is the version that I want to go after?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's really so much about like focus on any individual. It's not really about like whether or not the individuals are bad or going after individuals or anything versus the group. I think sometimes what happens is I get the different perspectives, and I think I come out to where Binder is on this. I do think what ends up happening is people are absolved or what a choice is. Like it's rewritten as though like most of the nation, like there's a smaller pot of people that are just bigots, and then everybody else is being dragged along, and that is completely inconsistent with history and the reality of this nation and all this. There's a lot of I think there's an unwillingness to accept a certain level of what is bigotry. Period. That is what is being packaged to them. That is what they are rallying around, and I think there has to be more acknowledgement of that, I think. And then sometimes I think what the danger is like, yes, obviously, I think we're all in the business of speaking and talking, right? Like if I didn't believe it was valuable, it's obviously valuable to, speak against inherently what you're doing in advocating for anything or talking about anything or doing awareness is in debunking something else, right? Speaking against something, having a new narrative, misinformation. So obviously I think that is right in everybody doing that. I think sometimes the danger is in you can get caught up in almost like centering these people unintentionally, approaching narratives from the perspectives of them and how they see it in this, and how do you make it most palatable for it. It becomes about making something more palatable for a group of people that fundamentally are not the largest. So who are you going to be, you speaking to and getting? And that's what I think is something to be cautious of. But I understand and align with the fundamental overarching arguments we have here.
Yeah, and then the only, I guess, kind of clarifying thing I wanted to say when I was talking about just saying talking about brainwashing and all of that, if we just go ahead and say that this group of people is brainwashed, what we're allowing them is an escape out to say, oh, well, this wasn't my fault. It takes away the accountability. I think these people should still be accountable for what they're doing, saying, their interactions, especially the people with big microphones and big platforms that are saying just absolutely abhorrent shit. But for those individual people, if we go with they're brainwashed and they have been put into this mental state where they don't know any better, it means we can't hold these people accountable because of that. And I don't think these people are brainwashed. I think, like Ole was saying, they are choosing to reject information when it's being presented to them. It's not to everybody, but it's enough that it's pretty disturbing. And that's, I guess, where I was trying to go with that. So I am agreeing with you guys. I wasn't disagreeing, but I don't think I was fully explaining what I was trying to say, like the difference between the two, at least in my mind.
And I guess like I agree with like, and I get where like David's coming from. Like obviously, like I'll see sometimes like people will comment at me. I'll be saying something, and they'll be like, "Well, I'm actually some other category that I would not." Include as people I'd be thinking about. And they'll be like, and I like your content, or I've learned a lot from you, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, and in my mind I clocked that, like, that's great. That's excellent that they're, whatever, they're going to be the stray person that you get, but I don't fucking think about them. When I'm telling, when I'm packaging the thing, you know what I mean? That's great. Like I treat it as, I guess I treat the work, or I treat advocacy as, all right, these are the messages, these are the things I can only put out into the world, and people are going to take what they want, receive, this is the next thing or whatever. But I'm going to put out what I believe speaks to the larger truth, how best really speak to misconceptions and that package. But I never want to, I never go into it with how do I best advocate this in a way to message that people can, get, or whatever, my audience, but never some more so leaves. I feel like, and not from us, obviously, I don't mean from us, I obviously mean just in the larger conversation, whenever you hear people talking, I guess in advocacy or movements or whatever they're talking, it becomes a conversation. How can we best make things palatable to who's really, and it's ironic, right?
I don't agree with that.
And I think
I don't agree with that at all.
To make sure that we're
all I'm saying is give if somebody wants to change, if somebody is showing the willingness to learn and the idea that the fact that they have grown and maybe they used to think shitty things or think differently, now they think different. Well, we have to allow those people to grow. Like we can't just shame them because they said some shitty thing 5 years ago. Like we have to. I think it makes sense to allow those people to change.
People who have said shitty things. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're willing to actually put in the effort and they are changing, like whether it's someone in your life or whoever, then allow those people to change.
I mean, I do agree. This is something, and obviously this requires a lot of nuance because this is not the kind of conversations you have on Twitter. But I've said this before. Like, if you want, we have a really carceral system because we have a carceral attitude. Also, it reflects our society, right? Like, it can't. What happens is, if you want to have a world, you want to live in an abolitionist world, you want to live in a world where you don't have these kind of attitudes. We have accountability. People are willing to acknowledge their wrongs or go through some kind of process. And it can't be a society that's like, you did this, so fuck you forever. You know what I mean? Exactly. You're this, you're that. And I've said this, and I believe this. I do think you're right there. There is a level, like an unwillingness of, like I see in like 2 days ago, someone mentioned Justin Bieber, and someone quote tweeted it with the video, him when he was like a child, and he was singing the song, and he said "nigga," and I was just like, okay, guys, like, you know what I mean? Like there has to be some of those statute limitations, you know what I mean? Blah 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 blah. Because that's I think people aren't honest with that, and that's why I'm always like careful to online when we give into this idea of somebody, a perfect example, if someone's accused of something, anything, and they did something bad, anything, immediately everybody in their life is put on trial too. Like, you're a fucked up person for being friends with this person. And I'm like, well, what exactly? This person can't just disappear, right? When you don't like somebody in society, if something has done something wrong, they don't just fucking poof and disappear. So they're going to be in that society. So you need them to do better. So what exactly do you think? They're already fucking up. What is ostracization and like beating this person, over the head? How do you think that is going to foster, but that is not a conversation people are willing to have. You say that and it becomes about like, oh, you're hating on whoever is the victim experiencing this. But I think at the reality, I think there has to be a larger conversation about recognizing, well, harm has occurred. When harm has occurred, it's occurred. There's nothing you could do about that. The best thing I think forward is how do we prevent this harm from being reproduced, right? And how, like, what do we do that? And that often takes some level of addressing the person that committed the harm, and how do we change them, help them, whatever it is they need to do. And I don't think a particularly, punitive nature of you did this. So depending on what it is, obviously. And I mean, and I think people have the right to like dislike people, or, or maybe think somebody it doesn't deserve this particular kind of high honor or something forever. Like, maybe don't revere people that have, bad histories and stuff like that. But it has to be some level of, all right, if you want people to cop the shit, people really only cop the shit if they think it's okay, like comfortable. You know what I mean? People. There's a reason why immunity exists, right? Because people will admit to a whole lot of fucked up shit if there isn't, you know what I mean, gonna be a particular kind of consequence, right? So if you have a society that says, "Nigga, fuck you for life," if you say that, people they're probably gonna gaslight you. They're gonna lie to your face. They're gonna, so yeah, I don't know, I'm just feeling throwing things out there. I agree, David. I feel you.
All right, so
that was nuanced. I feel like we nuanced.
We did. All right, so we got questions. We got rapid fire round now.
Hold on. I don't want to get too
okay.
I don't want to get too far away from that because we didn't finish watching that Jimmy Dore clip because there's something else.
Oh, you
want
to finish it?
Oh, there's more.
There's something else in there that a completely different topic he brings up.
Let's
go.
I'm
sure I finished watching it.
I mean, of course, I'm talking about the Jimmy Dore speech, which I assume will famously become remembered as the "I have a dream" speech. But let's
I had a dream speech. All right,
let's play because he turns on this is like a whole different thing. He completely goes 180, talks about something completely different. And to me, this is funny. Like, we just had a very serious conversation.
I'm not sure I finished watching this. Let's watch.
Go ahead.
Because it makes me realize, we're all just playing a role.
JD is the best in the business. Lots of love to him. Ask him if he regrets spitting on Alex Jones.
Yes.
I hope so. You do?
Yeah.
I was there. Me and Luke were there. Did you know that?
Yeah,
we were like standing right next to
I didn't
him.
even know who the hell he was really at that time. I just
That's
had heard of him,
bullshit.
and he had crashed the set. So it was getting physical. You saw what was happening. I was the one who ran and got a security guard, and it was this like 58-year-old black woman, and I said, "Hey, can you come help us?" And of course she couldn't. What is she gonna do? She couldn't do anything. And by the time I got back to the sound stage with her, there were like 100 people on stage, and screaming. And so my story is that I had some iced tea in my mouth, which is true. And I went up, and Alex Jones is funny. You can't deny that he's not funny. And when I got up there, he literally said, "Hey, I'm just trying to be nice." And that was so funny. I had a spit take, and that's what happened.
Oh
But he
my
quit. He went. He
God.
walked away immediately afterwards. So it worked.
We can pause that. We can. That's it. That's it. We don't need to hear the rest. He's fucking lying.
Yeah.
First of all,
he's
first of all,
100% lying.
first of all, he's a coward. Yeah, I have the clip. I sent you guys the clip in the chat. Pull that up.
Okay,
This is,
I gotta get to it.
It should be queued up exactly to the time code too. He's a coward. Jimmy Dore is a coward. First of all, even the people who don't like Dore anymore usually bring up this moment as like the one redeeming moment of Jimmy Dore that they still remember. The time he spit on Alex Jones, who was going crazy when he ran into TYT at like Politicon or something. But now he's claiming not only does he regret spitting on Alex Jones, but he accidentally did it because he was laughing at Alex Jones's funny jokes. Here is the clip of Jimmy Dore spitting on Alex Jones. You let me know if this looks like an accident because he couldn't hold back his laughter.
I have a follow-up story of a personal conversation I had with Jimmy about this.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Does that look like a spit
Let's
take
watch that
because
again.
Alex Jones said something so fucking hilarious?
Frame by frame,
Look at
right?
that.
We can do frame by frame. Computer enhance. We can do this. You can go frame by frame.
Oh, it's
my
already
God.
obvious.
We need pixel to
I
pixel.
mean, we can go 0.25 speed.
Yes, we need this.
This is the closest we're getting to frame by frame.
It enters
Wait,
his
let me
mouth.
turn the audio off because that audio is
It enters his mouth. I guarantee it. We'll see it.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
No.
It's
I mean,
because
like,
Alex Jones was so funny.
I mean, it's one thing for him to say like I'm now on Alex Jones's side because my ideological shift, and I apologize to him for spitting on him at the time. If he did that, he's still a piece of shit for doing that. But okay, at least he's owning up to what he did. He's fucking claiming now that he didn't mean to spit on Alex Jones, and it was an accident because he was laughing at Alex Jones's jokes. Give me a break, man. Coward.
Okay, so
back
Oh
into
my
the left.
God.
back when I was at Jimmy's show, him and I had a conversation about this because I asked him about this because I thought it was based when we were still on speaking terms. So yes, what Matt is saying is correct. He's lying because he talked about how he deliberately spit on Jimmy Dore on Alex Jones. On top of that, he claims that he didn't know Alex Jones, but he told me that he was anticipating more Alex Jones hecklings at different shows, and that there were claims that he was going to show up to one of Jimmy Dore's show. So he absolutely knew who Alex Jones was at that time, but now this is damage control because he's on their side, and he's trying to.
Oh my God.
When did he tell you this? Do you have this recorded?
He told
or
me this
anything?
in 2018.
Do you have it recorded?
No, it was just a personal conversation.
See, you
got
got always be recording, man. Let me just a word to the
It
wise.
wasn't as obvious what was happening.
Any of you having private conversation with me, know I'm recording your ass. So if you turn into a right-wing grifter, I'm gonna use that shit against you. All right?
You don't have to. All this shit's public right now.
Or I'm talking about if we have a private conversation at some point. If you're like, yo, Matt, between you and me.
Okay, well.
I could not believe it when he said that. I
I
wasn't surprised when he apologized.
Easy it is for him to lie about shit. Like that he can just lie so obviously about that. Like, come on. He's
like he could have just fucking apologized. He could have just said, "I like Alex Jones now because I'm now on his side. I now believe the
That's
shit
before
he
I saw
spews."
the light. Before I realized how right Alex Jones was. Like,
but
yeah.
Instead, he plays the ultimate cowardly move, and even though it's caught on tape, we have the visual evidence directly in front of us. He's lying about what happened. He was laughing even back in 2016 because Alex Jones was just so funny. You liar.
I don't think even Tim Pool believed him. Like, I'm not sure where that conversation went, but you see Tim Pool's face. I don't think he saw the video. Like it wasn't a spit take. Come on now. Anyway,
So
sorry,
cool
Illuminati.
we got some rapid fire stuff. Okay. So this one goes to David. Congratulations on being a new father. Has your POV changed as a leftist new father now?
I do pay a little more attention to like parenting stuff and like so before we ever decided to have kids, because I really thought we never were gonna have kids. Like I just didn't want to have kids. And then we kind of changed our mind during the pandemic. I used to kind of roll my eyes at politicians talking about like, you know, new parents and like gotta care about the kids. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad they mentioned kids and parents. I'm a little more obviously, since I am a parent. Not that I didn't care about kids before, but now it's like, oh, you know, this stuff actually matters to me now. So I pay a little more attention to what they're saying when they're talking about parents. But
how old's your kid?
2 years old, just a little over 2 years.
I remember that. I remember that. I got a 7-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. So my 3-year-old wasn't too far long ago.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to when he can like wipe his own ass and like that part's done, and then
we're dealing with that with a 3-year-old right now. The 7-year-old thankfully can do that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm really looking forward to that. But I don't know. Apart from that, I don't know. It's just it's for me. If anything, my life's just changed in the sense that I'm always busy and I don't sleep enough. Like that's kind of the big. I used to be able to sleep in till like 9, 10 a.m. It was amazing, and now I'm up at 6, 7. It's every single day. Very little breaks. It's very tough. But yeah, I don't know.
Are you used to the new sleeping schedule by now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just used to waking up at this point. Like,
yeah, because I was like you. I slept in late as can be. I would literally wake up and run to go to work or whatever. Now it's like I'm a morning person for the first time in my life. I just naturally wake up at like 6, 7 a.m. every day. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
The issue is like,
even if the kids are like spending a night at grandma's or something, I don't sleep late. I just wake up at the same time. Can't help it.
If he's at grandma's, I'm sleeping in. Actually, it happened this past weekend. I slept until 9 a.m. I woke up. I couldn't believe that I didn't wake up earlier. Like I thought my body would naturally wake up, and actually, usually it does naturally wake up. But I was up. I was in bed till 9, and it was like, wow, I actually slept in. I actually had 9 hours of sleep this tonight. And the issue is, I'm a night person and a morning person, so I get no sleep because I like staying up late, but I also like waking up early. I mean, I don't like waking up early, but I have to. But when I do wake up early, I don't mind it now because I'm used to it, but it still sucks. I'm kind of happy.
What about the pandemic made you? Because I wasn't someone who was like no kids. We had kids when we felt like it was time to have kids. What made you go from no kids ever to gonna have a kid?
The world was shit. So this was the week that Bernie dropped out of the race. COVID was really hitting strong, and we were like, everything fucking sucks. And really shitty people are raising kids and having kids. A lot of shitty people, mostly shitty people, are having kids. How about
everything sucks, so we need to bring in another life to suffer with us.
We want to bring something good into the world and like raise a positive person who's gonna do, not gonna be, may not.
Little presumptuous there. Little presumptuous there.
But
little presumptuous there. But father of future Hitler.
Let's fucking hope that.
Damn, Godwin's law on that shit.
So far that's not. So far, our son is incredibly empathetic. All the daycare people love him, so he's very nice to everyone loves him. He's fantastic. So our hope is to continue nurturing that amazing aspect of him and making it into a good person, and hopefully he can find some other good people out in the world. But it's that's kind of what initiated that whole thing.
Awesome.
Well, all the chats are losing their shit at the laughing.
Matt went dark.
That went really dark there.
All the chats are just Matt. No.
What are the questions? We got to work through these.
All right, let's go. What is the panel's feelings on the reactionary Rage Against the War rally on February 19th? It looks like the pseudo-leftists, including Chris Hedges now and a bunch of reactionary right-wingers, are aligning for a rally. Ominous historical links to things like file popular frontism come to mind here. Any thoughts?
I'm not lying. So let me just jump in with a new procedure. Can we veto questions?
Yes. Would you like to veto?
I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Moving on.
I feel like I only barely know about that because I saw like a tweet about it, but it looks ridiculous. So I don't like the people involved look ridiculous.
Move on. I don't want us to fuck around and start talking about it.
Okay. Here.
I'm good with vetoing. Let's move on.
All right. So this person says, I'm a high school teacher. Do I have explicit consent to use or show my students your content in class?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
As long as they don't mind the vulgarity, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we have a problem here because I'm saying no.
They didn't call my name, but I told Trump.
And that's a lesson on consent right there. You know?
No, please go ahead. Feel free. Yes.
Just at me next time, David. Just
It's not me saying it. It's the YouTube algorithm saying it. It's not me saying.
Yeah, I'm now censoring my YouTube videos when I curse. I've been trying not to curse, but eventually or once in a while it'll slip up. So I'm censoring mine, so it's completely safe for work, kind of.
Honestly, you know, I'm doing my best. Honestly, I'm trying my best for y'all.
I hate
swear,
this shit.
you know.
Wait, how did he say how old the kids? Did the teacher say how old the kids are?
High school.
High school. Oh, then fuck it. Play that for them. I mean, they're not gonna give a shit. They've heard it all before.
That's fair.
Next question.
All right. How about this one? What was the question like to shuffle on me? Okay. What was something you thought was the truth but later changed your mind about when you learned new information?
That God is real. Next question.
Recently, oh yeah, got it.
Like you gotta rip the mic and
all right.
That was a good answer. Next question.
I feel like all of mine are like really slow, like they're slow transitions as opposed to being like, oh my god, like so there's nothing in my mind sticks out really specifically.
Yeah.
I
same.
thought I liked Vince Vaughn because that was like all black people.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm gonna tell you why I know, right? Because every black person has a white person they like, and they like grandfather into their children. Like everybody has one. My auntie liked Matthew McConaughey. My mommy liked Vince Vaughn. I like Vince Vaughn. The other day I was casually saying that, you know, because I was explaining my white person because I was on the Daily Zeitgeist. And I was talking about my good white person that I love is Drew Barrymore. And I was like, that aged so well. My girl is an unproblematic queen. She really is. And in the course of being like, no, because my mama liked Vince Vaughn, my friend was like, my white bestie, he was like, you know, he was a mega Trumper. I was like, no, I didn't fucking know that. Because my stupid ass mama don't do no research. So I've been walking around here shamelessly liking Vince Vaughn, fundamentally unaware. So embarrassed.
He's a bad white person. He's a bad white person.
And now you're canceled by association.
My mother is like sickeningly like we have to talk about that next. We don't have enough time, but like you have to tell me when you realized your parents were problematic, like what thing it was. But my mother is wildly problematic. Like, I mean,
you've complained about your mom on like every other podcast.
I love her. I love her.
We're fully aware of your
I love her. She's great.
What about your grandparents? Because my grandparents are problematic. like my grandparents are problematic. But what about like your grandparents? What like, or just your mother?
I only had one like my Grammy, who is my daddy's parents lived in Nigeria, and I never met them. And actually, I'm an affair baby, so they didn't mention me in their little letter that they sent from Nigeria to the Bahamas. So gives them less importance. My Grammy, my mama's mama. That was my girl. Honestly, my Grammy. I don't think my Grammy is problematic so much as she is lie a lot. That I do know. Like they always used to say, like if your Grammy tell you the sky is blue, you need to go outside and check. I don't think she's problematic, but she definitely gives some advice that was not meant for me to be in America. Like my grandma gave me advice that only works for the Bahamas. Like, or if people fuck with you, you get them back tenfold. You go to jail in the U.S. like to this day, I'm suffering the consequences of that advice. Like I'm always like,
they bring a knife, you bring a nuke, you know?
Bro, I'm over there like set it off. So my grandma used to like my mommy actually, all the women in my. But all the people in my family be fighting, like in the Bahamas. But my mommy and my Grammy, when I say those are two people who will pull up on you to scrap, like anytime anybody would fuck with me in school, my Grammy is there in the principal face, like, who fucking with my grandbaby? What you do to my grandbaby? Oh, okay, it could be a situation. Like, I should be ready. So not problematic, just troublesome.
Actually, sorry, I have a quick answer to that question. So this is not politics at all, but I used to think Japanese RPGs were boring, and then I played Persona 5, and now I love Japanese RPGs, and I've played a shit ton. So that's the one thing I've changed. Complete turnaround.
Final Fantasies, like for Super Nintendo, like Final Fantasy. Like,
I couldn't get into them back in the day, and now I'm like super into them. Actually, same now with horror games. I used to hate horror games because they freak me out, but I just played the Dead Space remake, and holy shit, Dead Space
I
is
want to play
fucking amazing.
that.
It's I forced myself through it because horror usually scares me. I can't take it, but I would listen to a podcast while playing it so I could kind of get through it. And now I'm looking forward to the Resident Evil remake. But anyways, sorry. I don't want to hijack.
Can I just add real quick, not to get into games too much? I played Resident Evil 7 in VR and I made it like halfway through and I had to stop because I literally screamed like my dog was sleeping next to me and I went like a blood curdling little girl scream because of the shit in that game. It still traumatized me. Horrible.
That sounds terrible.
I saw a really funny tweet that was like when Resident Evil 7 came out on VR. It's like, this is a great day for bottoms. And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, no one knows about like what's the name of the vampire, like Mummy or whatever, the one like at the center of the entire game.
I didn't play 7.
It's about evil, right?
I didn't make it all the way. I got the recap of the story so I could play 8 because I only made it halfway. So yeah.
Next question.
Alrighty. I'm like, okay, we're good. Okay, so this one's more, I guess, geared towards the Canadians, but I'm pretty sure that this is for all of us. What is your opinion of the fact that a Canadian petition is offering trans NB folks from even the US and UK refugee status due to how bad it is?
A Canadian, sorry, ask that again?
A Canadian petition that is offering trans and NB folks from even the US and the UK refugee status due to how bad it is.
I haven't heard of it, but I support that. I got no issue with that.
There's a couple questions about Feinstein retiring.
Move on.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Personal questions. We love personal questions. Who's the kinkiest in the group? And this person says their bet is on Matt Binder.
Oh.
It might be true. I don't know how kinky you guys are, but
wait,
I don't know
the
how
way
to do
we're
this.
thinking,
I don't know.
Is there another? You know, multiple definitions of kinky.
People are into random shit that isn't sexual. I don't know.
How many of you have memorized the entirety of Kinky Boots? Maybe that's what they mean by.
You got me there.
Is
The questions tonight are wild.
I mean, this just sounds like a very slick and sly way of trying to get us to divulge on our sex lives.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me.
This is a plot.
I got two comments in David's chat saying, "Mike, fuck you." Not that that's bad, but like,
what?
Why me?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say that they're homophobic for pointing out the highest Kinsey scale person in the chat. I'm a 6 on the Kinsey scale, and you go to me as the kinkiest. That's homophobia. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't see anybody saying my name, so I'm good. I assume.
Mm-hmm. We're good. Okay. Who would win in a fist fight?
Okay. I'm on the guys.
No. There's two examples here of someone versus someone. So the first one is Rand Paul versus Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us. I was getting ready.
Rand Paul and Kevin McCarthy. Amend the question of the guys.
Yeah, of the guys.
I have to analyze this.
I don't know.
Is it like a 4-person brawl? Like, what's going on? Like, is it tag team? What's happening?
I mean, I'm actually pretty sure that Olay could probably kick the shit out of us.
Hold on, did y'all see that laugh? It's like, not fuck Olay up. Like, it's all laughs, and it's like,
no. Everyone would fuck me up. I would be at the bottom of the totem pole when someone was like, who's gonna get fucked up?
If it's an immediate fight, I'm putting it on. I'm gonna give it to Lance. If it's Game of Thrones, if it was like a war, David's gonna kill us all. I'm telling y'all. David is the killer. Listen, I was gonna say it earlier. You remember that time we were like, who would be best? Like, who the right could really get? Every fucking week, David becomes like a red Republican light starts shining behind him.
I would have, if that was gonna happen, it would have happened already.
I know, but I got my eyes. So I'm like, if it was Game of Thrones, it's David.
Has any of you actually been in a physical fight before? I'm just curious.
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
100%. I'll fuck you up.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Lost most of the fights I've ever been in. Like usually defending myself or other people like from being bullied and got my ass kicked.
That's
multiple
so funny. I definitely have many a time I'm gonna defend other people, and like I really no. The only thing, the only thing worse than my mouth is my hands. So I will fuck you up. So yeah, definitely fights for sure, all the time. Like I grew up. My name is Olayemi Olurin. Children and siblings, all kind of stuff. I would constantly, and I'm a person. I've always been. I realized my therapist pointed it out. Like I was meant to be a defense attorney. I was a defense. As a little kid, you fucking with anybody. I was always ostracized. Like I grew up, in the Bahamas, but Bahamians are very anti-foreign, so they considered you Nigerians. I was always like getting bullied and picked on, and I always liked the other people like that. And I was always somebody like, I'll be all right by myself, but I don't like you mistreating these other people. I don't like you doing that. So yeah, I definitely, I'll fight you for sure. Yeah.
I think we might also be. Oh, we're still talking about the fights, right?
Tell us about it. What happened?
Well, it was second grade, and I won.
No, go on.
So this was a very formative experience for me. Okay, so in second grade, during class, this kid told me he was going to kick my ass for no reason, out of the blue. So he approached me to fight on the playground, and So I want to tell you how I won this. Kids, pay attention. This is very important. So I grabbed one of his arms and I spun him around multiple times, and then I let go. And then he fell down. And then he got back up to fight me. And I did the same fucking move again. And it worked. And then afterwards in second grade, I'm like, that's what you get for talking shit, bitch. I said this in second grade. And at that point in time, I realized that, like, I'm very powerful. Like, to pull off the Solange Bowser move before it was even a thing, I'm so impressed by myself. Just telling the story, like, it's
but
magical.
To be fair, it probably sounded a little bit more like, that's what you get, bitch. Second grade after all. Second grade after all. Right. What I was going to say is, between all of us, I think we're also forgetting the sleeper in the room. Illuminati looks like she's got to lift up her hand, snap her fingers, and we all disappear, right? I mean, the triangle head and
laser out of the eye. Something's gonna happen.
Oh, you damn right there is. No. I'm relatively quiet.
Next question, Blair.
Yes. All right, so let's see here. A lot of these are just kind of goofy tonight. I don't know why.
I like Goofy. Let's do Goofy.
You like Goofy? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's roll with Goofy.
Goofy hour, I feel.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this question is just generally asking if we're ever going to make a Discord channel so that all of us leftist Mafiaites can connect.
What? Ain't you connected here? It's not live?
I guess making a Discord
I think
for
that
all of us.
Lance is the most tech capable or Illuminati with that.
That sounds like it could be a good idea, actually, because one of the problems
I
I
like
had
that.
with my own Discord is, like, there's already some big leftist Discords out there, so it's hard to sort of get your little, like, one show Discord going. But if it's 6 of us combined with all of our listenership, it could probably be a pretty hopping Discord.
It probably could be.
And combine all the audiences, because our audiences are kind of fragmented. We've got David's audience watching, my audience, Matt's. So if we combine them all together, then it gives us a better sense of community. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
We probably should. I mean, it's free. It's easy to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so
we'll work on that.
This one says, first of all, shout out to Olay and generally everyone here because you all make great content that I found separately, but y'all are a force together. My question is it feeling like there's less and less reason to back anyone in office or writing them to do or stop anything? It always seems like there's a stalemate at best.
Now, Blair, before y'all answer, don't start because we don't have enough time for y'all to dive down this rabbit hole. Now, y'all remember when we said quick, rapid fire, and Goofy?
Okay. Okay, I
was thinking of an answer. I was like, the devil is a lie. The devil. David,
just to give quick hope. Quick hope. Politics in office is it's a slow moving process, but that's why it's important. There's organizing, there's groups outside of whoever's in office, so that there's always progress happening. Yes, it's slow when it comes to actual policy making, but don't let that discourage you because there are always people on the ground that are doing a lot of good work.
Yes, 100%. Everything David said, plus local elections. For the love of God, every single person listening to my voice right now, please get involved in local politics. Local politics in your city. You might know might not know the name of the mayor. You might not know like the name of the comptroller, but these are the policies that are going to dictate where you spend your money, especially when half of your budget might go to the police. It's so important that you get involved in local politics. And the thing is, no one shows up. There's like 35% turn up in some local politics, like LA, for example, I think has like 30%. Get involved, and you could actually sway elections in that. Not as sexy as federal elections, provincial elections, all that kind of stuff, or state elections, but it has tangible effects.
And I have to answer as well. I know, I'm sorry. Like, I just have to add, there are other ways to affect change besides just electoral politics. For example, the labor movement. You can organize your workplace. You can figure out how to do that safely without or to avoid retaliation. Support local labor movements. Never cross a picket line. Things like that, because the labor movement currently is, I think, our fastest route towards real meaningful change. So I just had to throw that in there because we can't not answer that question once it's brought up. It's so hard to not dive down there. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Olay's face, not impressed.
If you could be an ice cream flavor, what would you be and why? There you go. What's your ice cream?
Mine would change every day because I like variety, so I can never stick with one. It's just too. Whatever has the most flavors in a swirl.
No, you gotta commit. You gotta commit.
I can't commit. Not possible.
You know what? I can commit. I'm gonna say the s'mores flavor from Ben and Jerry's. That's the one that I would be. It's good.
Okay, I don't know what it's called, but there's one. I think it's Haagen-Dazs. I don't know. It's one of those expensive ice creams where it's like there's like cone and there's caramel and there's chocolate. I love like caramel in ice cream and like chocolate and that's and crunchy bits. All good stuff.
Drumstick ice cream, right?
Wait, hold on. I missed out something because for 1 second I was hearing vote electoral politics, stay active in the labor movement, and then I love the crunchy cones.
Texture of Mars bar.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Favorite ice? If you were an ice cream, what would you be?
Oh,
Matt.
Rocky Road from Baskin Robbins, not just any Rocky Road. Baskin Robbins got the only good Rocky Road there is.
Okay, so there's a local place in Vancouver called Ernest, and they have a whiskey hazelnut ice cream. I'm not in terms of liquors, whiskey's not my favorite liquor, but this is such a good ice cream that I want to aspire to become it one day. So if I had to become an ice cream, that's my inspiration.
Chat says mint chocolate chip. That's from David Hutchinson. Also good. I do like myself some mint chocolate chip. I know it's like an acquired. Like some people hate it, some people like it.
Is a good ice cream.
I like it.
So vanilla is my favorite ice cream. I know that's so, but I can't be that for obvious reasons.
That's actually really surprising, considering your personality. You choose vanilla as your favorite ice cream.
I do not like. I'm real. I like plain shit. I don't like anything with like bits and pieces. Anything doing alarm real.
I'm the complete opposite.
I like the candy.
Yeah, my favorite ice cream is Breyer's vanilla. And then chocolate feels too on the nose. I think I'm going with either I'm chocolate Dippin' Dots or an ice cream sandwich. But I'm thinking of ice cream sandwich because I'm a fly bitch. And I thought about that.
What kind of ice cream sandwich though? What kind? Just
first of all, I can be all ice cream sandwiches. Like, don't try to box
Neapolitan.
There's just no one. No, this is
it's probably the vanilla one, right?
A vanilla ice cream sandwich. Yep.
What about cookie witches? You consider them to be ice cream sandwiches, or is that something completely different?
When I think about them, I think about boarding school, and just now I realized that psychologically boarding school is like me doing a bid because it came to me just now. You said that, and I was transported to West Virginia, pulling out a thingy sandwich, and I was like, something to unpack.
I'm sorry for bringing up cookie witches.
I would just like to be an ice cream sandwich. Thank you.
I've actually never had one of those. That sounds good.
You never had an ice cream sandwich?
What?
No, a cookie witch. A ice cream sandwich. I have you.
Oh, I was like,
cookie witches are the best. Chocolate chip cookie witch.
When I worked at Blockbuster, we had a little ice cream thing that had cookie witches, like the Toll House ones, and I would eat so much of those. Like I put on like probably 15 pounds just when we had that thing. Never paid for any of them. But
you want to hear how you pay for your sins later on in life? So for years, right, like I could bite into ice cream and I don't feel it, like bite into it. And I'm just like, oh, whatever, normal. And the other day, like I was at the dentist and the dentist was like, I don't know why it came up, but the dentist decided to like do a test on the tooth and got some icy cold shit and was like, you feel that? No. And he's like, yeah, he's like, that tooth is dead. And I was like, dead?
No.
Dead? What did I use? Yeah, did you hit that? Let me tell you what happened, y'all. Let me tell you how life will literally stew on you for 15 years. In grade 4, I was chasing after this little boy that I had a crush on, Nicholas, and I fell. Okay, I fell. Nicholas had nothing to do with it. All right, he didn't do shit to me. I fell, but like fell running, bust my fucking teeth and face on this fucking white wall. I remember like it was yesterday, like bloodied up, right? Fuck my shit right up. And I remember I was like, Nicholas caused that. Nicholas tripped me. Nicholas, I remember that. And when that fucking dentist told me, yeah, your tooth is dead, I was like, just as calm, you were slow. But I always thought I got a fucking way with it, but my tooth is dead. I messaged him like, I just wanted you to know, like, Jesus might not come when you call, but he's always on time. My fucking tooth is dead. So yes.
Damn, that sucks.
Oh, I mean, look, come on though. I think so. It's dead, but
You didn't have to get it removed or anything?
I'm gonna, I'm a fraudulent it up, but I'm gonna have a, he's gonna do a little thing, you know, and make it wank cute, whatever. You see, I'm popping. No, my teeth look good. I didn't even know that is hell. It's okay. Like everything cool for now. Like I'm real worried though about how like I'm noticing though, black don't crack as a myth. And I'm noticing that I'm very much so mortal like the rest of everybody else. And I'm real scared about how I'm gonna age. Now that I'm like getting old enough to realize like shit could happen. And like my Grammy lost teeth. Every time my Grammy ain't had no teeth by her old age, right? And then like she started losing her teeth when she had her first kid. So, I haven't had no kids yet, so that's like I don't know. So when they told me that tooth was already dead, I'm like, oh fuck. Shit. like shit. It hasn't even fucking forgotten it's dead already. I'm starting the game down a front tooth. Oh my god! Like I'm real fucking concerned for old age. Let me tell you something. Every day I be in my bed, like I might have to BBL list. I don't know if I'm gonna age gracefully. I don't know. I can't make y'all any promises. I haven't decided. I'm like, I literally yesterday I was like, I should start working out just so I could gaslight people when I get a BBL. I'm fucking playing. But these are the things I think about. Next question, Blair.
If we were to bet, how much longer do we think Twitter is going to be around?
Oh, it's not going. Twitter is not going anywhere. The question is, how much longer will Elon Musk own Twitter? That's, yes. I mean, because it's worth money. It's worth money. It's been around since 2006. It's got tons and tons of data. There's not a single company out there that works in the tech industry that would let that all just go away without them acquiring that from Musk if Musk had to sell off because he couldn't afford to pay his bills. Twitter will be around. Twitter will be around. The question is, will Musk?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I think it is time to find out who we are canceling this week.
Not y'all in the comments debating, but I need to stop eating McDonald's. And then here go Laura talking about, that will unfortunately catch up with it. Listen here, don't worry about me, niggas. I'm fine. And I don't mean like fine, like I'm good. I mean like I'm literally fine. I'm bad. Don't you worry about me, okay?
Yeah, they're talking about like you eating McDonald's in the chat is hilarious.
McDonald's, like you don't care my damn business. Like don't mind me talking shit, okay? I got full health insurance. I work out. I'm cute.
That's weird. That's weird. Chat, that's weird.
Yeah. Hold on. But people.
That's weird.
Hold on. But people haters go address that fat phobia in your spirit or something. Because every Thursday y'all see me high as a kite, and the first thing y'all wanted to criticize was McDonald's. That was the beginning of the list. Like. Been fried all episode, and y'all never once did y'all say, "Allow me, maybe put down the blunt." No, McDonald's. Yes, I eat it once every week, but I smoke weed the entire episode. Which one am I doing more?
I'm pretty sure everyone's always fried on this show. Just looking, I'm gonna say, broadly speaking, everyone.
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't know. My pupils are not dilated.
Listen, whatever. Yeah, listen, y'all leave me at my McDonald's, okay? I love y'all. Thank y'all, but no, me and McDonald's are friends. Okay. What are we canceling?
I want to cancel
New
Megan
York
Phelps
Times.
Roper.
Cancel the New York Times.
And the New York
Cancel.
Times.
Yeah, cancel New York Times.
Cancel the New York
Yeah.
Times.
Actually, I
cancel the New
literally
York Times.
canceled my subscription to the New York Times. I had one for the show because it's just easier,
Bravo.
and I canceled it. And I linked to the article that they wrote about J.K. Rowling. So I said, "Fuck this, fuck the transphobia," and I canceled. So yeah,
Good.
literally canceled.
Check if I have a New York Times subscription. Maybe I do.
I just steal that
Yeah.
shit. I don't fucking.
Oh, I meant to tell y'all, I got Renaissance tickets.
Oh, I saw on
China-
Twitter.
Oh, Beyonce.
Wait. Can you say how much? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, they weren't. I had like 400. Like I think
That's actually not bad compared
No,
to
it wasn't bad.
seats?
And
it's
honestly,
like $700 right now.
yeah,
Whoa.
honestly, I would spend more if I find somebody with better tickets that they can get to me, I will spend more and get it. But I was on the wait list, but one of my followers DM me like, "Oh, I ended up getting extra, you know what I mean, tickets, and I know you
Wow.
wanted to go, whatever." Yup. Immediately, I was like, "Let me explain something to you, Raheem, and I will fight for you." Okay, no matter what you do, you have an ally here. Okay, I love you. Okay, fuck with the rest of these people. They think they like me, but nobody did for me what you did for me.
I gotta
okay?
say, I was going to go to the Beyonce concert, but she didn't win Album of the Year, so I thought, you know what, it's not worth it. So I'm going to Harry Styles instead.
Listen.
Bringing up old wounds.
Hey, Blair, you never said
Yeah.
which ice cream you were going to be, by the way. You were the only person who didn't talk or say which ice cream you were.
Oh, either pistachio or probably bubblegum because I like them. That's it. I'm boring.
Huh.
I haven't had bubblegum since I was like 10, but that's a good one.
Look, I eat ice cream when I'm sad, so you need a happy ice cream. That's how I operate.
like that.
But yeah, okay, we canceling the New York Times this week, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
I guess
consensus.
I guess we're uncanceling you, right?
Yes, I am uncanceled
Yeah.
because I'm back.
Do you want to make a speech, Blair?
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. Oh my god, this is very on the spot.
Speech.
I would like to thank everybody, but that's it. I don't know what to do from here. I'm sorry. All right, we can go back to canceling me because I don't know how to do speeches.
So recanceling Blair.
Yep, that's fine. I can try again next week.
Try again, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come prepared.
Well,
So,
everybody
Ole,
go
are you
watch
doing
Blair's
your,
videos because
I am. I
they're
just sent
back.
the link to
Yep.
our Twitter group so you can put it in the chat. I am doing
Yeah.
Tea Time with
Okay.
Ole. Tea Time with Ole has video now, by the way. The call-in app got video. I love it. Yeah, I'm
Really?
now. Yes, I love it. We did the last episode with video. I logged on. I was like, "Is that a start video?" I was like, "Oh, this is excellent." So I
That's
love it.
cool.
That's
YouTube replacement.
basically- That's the closest y'all gonna get to me streaming until me and actually in a couple of weeks, me and LOL Overruled are starting a show. So yes, that. And I'm gonna be on. Oh, let me plug things. Okay, I'm going
Time
to
to
be
plug.
on. I'm gonna be on Laverne Cox's show on March 2nd.
What?
Oh
my goodness.
Okay.
That's
okay.
pretty
Yes,
awesome.
yesterday's price is not today's price. Anyway, yeah, that. And I'm gonna be in Majority Report tomorrow. I'm gonna be
Oh.
yes.
Matt Bender was on there today, right?
I'm on every Thursday, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, look, check that out. I gotta go check that out, Bender. And then Nina Turner show soon too. Yes, Tea Time's next. Tea Times are after Leftist Mafia. I see you asked in the comments, Kelsey. So yeah, put out the chat. That's what I got. And I have an op-ed with the appeal coming out soon to an abolition.
Woo!
Yes, thank you.
Amazing.
That's awesome. You're everywhere. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank you. I try.
All right, are we done?
I think so. I mean,
I was looking at Prep
So
Dan, but yeah.
so we didn't uncancel anybody though.
You don't cancel
'Cause-
Blair.
Vic, we
Blair's
canceled
supposed to give a
Blair.
speech.
We canceled.
We canceled the New York
Blair,
Times.
because she's back.
New York Times is canceled. Blair
We got that.
Illuminati is uncanceled. Yeah.
Unless Matt, do you have a different uncancel you want to do?
No, that's
Is someone on your mind? Is that why?
No, that's just
we're democracy.
That works for me.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, it's great.
All right,
Y'all
well,
have to-
we are so organized and good
guys.
at this. So everybody,
I think we need to come up with some sort of outro because
We
this gets
do.
very awkward every
Yeah,
we
every
do.
week.
Outro video or something.
I know. That's such a great
we
point.
need an outro video because we're so bad at
Something
this.
that's just played immediately after we uncancel someone so that we're
Yep.
all not sitting around here going, what's next?
Well, anyway, if y'all want to cut up with me, y'all should get on Tea Time with Olay.
Go
it is
there,
my,
yeah.
Starting
my
now.
show, so I don't want to hear any complaints for how I give it up. It's only gonna be me. Like, so see you later.
All right, and you
Have a
can
good night.
check out Olay, and of course you could check me out at I'm not going live now, but subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/MattBinder. Follow me on Twitter at MattBinder. I'm like the only one I think not streaming this right now, so I'm talking to everyone's channel viewers right now to go to youtube.com/MattBinder and hit that subscribe button. All right, I'll see you guys all in the next week.
Woo!
Yeah, see you
God
next
bless.
week.
Peace.
And I will stay here to answer super chats, and then I'll be out.
Same with mine.
And I'm out for the night. Good night, chats.
Bye, everyone. Welcome
Take care,
back.
bye.
Illuminati.
Have a good
to
night.
have you.
Thank y'all. All right, bye. And I left that stream, but for everyone still here hanging out, I'm really tired. I'm sorry. I've been moving and everything. That's why it's been a while since I've streamed or anything. So I do apologize for that, y'all. Here, hold on. Let me go to chat mode. Okay. Hello. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I've been moving. My computer was like apart in pieces for weeks, all this kind of shenanigans. So now everything's finally back together mostly. And ta-da, here we are. So y'all have a very good night tonight. It was great hanging out as always. And every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Leftist Mafia. Y'all have a fantastic